It's always a pleasure to come to this festival, and because the first time was 5 years back in London, and by accident I saw it on Handelmob, and I saw that they have very much different games for low stakes. So, and I'm from Holland, so I'm only used to play No Limit Hold'em and sometimes PLO. So that was my chance for a low roller to play those events for those cheap buy-ins. So that's the first time I came in contact with APAT.
Hi guys, it's Sunday night and welcome to the APAT show. Tonight's guest Adam Neal is a man of many talents, and we're going to be talking about poker, music, and lots of other stuff with Adam tonight. We're going to be focusing in on your roller and deep stack play as well. So there's plenty to look forward to. Adam, Lee, and myself will be back right after this. Lee, it feels like we've got a bona fide music star with us tonight. What can you tell us about Adam Neal?
Well, where do I even begin with our guest tonight? I mean, Adam burst onto the live scene playing around Luton. Got his first win, Des, back in 2011. I reckon he would have been aged about 12. I reckon, back then. Yeah, he moved on to that and went to the dizzy heights of the Blackpool of the West Coast, where he cashed in the Grand Prix series in Las Vegas for $16,000 back in 2016.
Nice.
Very nice. Then moved on to Nottingham, where he had numerous cashes all over the place before in 2018, finishing second in the UK PC Championship for just shy of 20,000 of your English pounds.
Sweet.
Very impressive.
Sweet.
Now, the story goes. Now, I mean, he might tell us whether this is true or not, but this is what I've interpreted from his Hendon mob anyway.
Oh,
he
God.
took that £20,000 and he went to Barcelona. Literally 2 months later, where he cashed in the Party Poker Live Party Millions warm up, and he also cashed in the main event for €30,000. After that, well, his live game wasn't that strong, but we know he's got a bit of online now. Off the table, Des, you might not know this, but Adam is a gift wrapper and a twitcher. So hopefully he managed to fit some bird watching in during the busy Christmas. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry. He's a gifted rapper and a streamer, apparently. So welcome to the show, Adam Neal. How you doing?
What an intro, guys. That is the greatest intro I've ever had and ever will have.
That is all right, Adam. We take, what do we take? £10 notes, Lee? 15, £20 notes?
People even use those? Are they even? Is that even currency anymore?
To be honest, things have changed. When you said Adam's live game had suffered, I was awaiting a COVID reference there, because in fairness, not even Adam, right? Not even Adam could survive COVID as far as poker is concerned. So, Adam, listen. Welcome to the show. We're delighted to have you on. Of course, you've been around the scene for quite some time, obviously. Hell of a spin-up story there. You know, have you finished spinning, or do you think when we get back to normality, are you going to continue to play at that sort of level?
I think we've been unspinning for about 2 years, mate. I think. I kind of fell out of love with the game the last year, but I've got fully back into it. I've got a massive love and passion back for it, so I'm looking forward to giving it a go when casinos are open again.
Good, lovely jubbly. Well, listen, guys, we're going to learn a lot more from Adam about spinning up, spinning down, and spinning around, especially. I don't know, vinyl's still a thing in music, but Adam's got some cool new stuff out, and we're going to talk about that. But first, as always, we're just going to take a little run through the chat box to see who's out there tonight. So, Lee, What I am seeing, right? You have a little look in your chat box as well. I've got Didier de Suert is there. Hi to you, Didier, over in Belgium with Stefan Fischer, Derek Lorman. Stefan says, hello, boys. Hello back to you, Stefan. We've got Edward Barlow. Greg Mawson is there. Asa McGrath says, evening again, boys. And we spent a little bit of time with Asa earlier on today, Lee, but we'll come back to that. Okay, later in the evening, we will come back to that. Eddie Niascio is there, says, good evening to you. Eddie, Luca Canella from Italia. Maybe our favorite Italian of all times, Luca. Just one top guy.
Don't tell Gabriele Dori. Yeah,
listen, there's a lot of the guys that we're not going to, tell that, but Luca is one special guy. Michelle Gascoigne is there. Evening to you. Holder Fold. Don Logan is there. Clement Hare, who announced his German team. A lot of the international players in tonight, Lee. We should not be surprised because at around this time next week, we'll probably have an international team champion. And that is something that I'm really looking forward to calling alongside you. Tris Chaplin is there. Says, good evening, guys. Evening to you as well, Tris. Paul Haycock is there. Michelle says, was an intro and a half. Lol, lol. Well, we don't do things by half here. Paul says, how do to you, Paul. Clement says, hi, guys. Hi back to you, Clement. Nigel Hardy is there as well. Jamie Evans says, good evening. Evening to you, Jamie. Aniron Venables is back at top 10 player, but he didn't get selected for the Welsh team, Lee. I want to talk about that, right? We've got to talk about that through the evening. So the guys are watching in, and Tris gives us our last comment of the intro. Can we ask Mr. Neal, okay, what life was like on Mr. Perkins' yacht sometime this evening, please? Well, why don't we start with that? Who's Mr. Perkins, and what was life like on his yacht, Adam?
I was very fortunate enough last year to go and live in the Caribbean for a few months. Nice. Thanks to Bill Perkins.
You're joking, Bill?
No, yeah, Big Bill himself.
Okay,
Big Bill himself. So yeah, there was 10 of us in a house, more like a mansion. And yeah, they were there for a year. I joined kind of halfway through.
Wow.
And yeah, was very fortunate to kind of grind poker and create YouTube content and just live a different life.
So Bill had an online stable sort of thing going, did he?
Yeah. He just he gave us like 20K each, and then just kind of said, go and do what you want with it, really, while streaming. So we had a channel as well that we were streaming,
nice.
And I mean, it was a different world, a completely different world.
Sounds it. I mean, that's what it's like for Lee down in the Southampton area. He's got like a boat. He's got all of that stuff. He's got the big bankroll. He does all of that stuff independently. Independent trader. Okay, that's really cool. Lee, just write down there. We need to get Bill Perkins on the APAT show. Some goodies to be had there. Let's get Bill on.
We won't talk
about the multi-accounting and stuff. We won't talk about that. Listen, Lee, a lot of guys in the chat box, obviously. A lot of activity happening there. We've been joined by Wilco Huggenkamp. What a great name that is. Andy HMR Customs, which is an even better name. What a surname, right? Who else have we got? Stefan says, are more guests on the show during WCOAP and or team event when you stream it? I would certainly think so. We're organising all of that stuff in the background, Stefan. So yes, there'll be plenty of guests on the show. No danger about that. So Lee, lots of guys out there and gals. What are they playing tonight?
Well, obviously, it's the first week of our new style leaderboard. So Poker Squads, unfortunately, has come to its conclusion last week. I did post up the other day the final kind of movers and shakers for it, Des. I don't know whether you saw it, but it was a beautiful thing where the top two players were the top two scoring players of all time.
I saw that Frank Bailey was top, right?
They happen to be the top two rolling ranking players for the last 4 weeks, and they're the only two that had a 100% record. Frank Bailey and Stephen Healy, Adelaide Bulls. So brilliant. That was awesome. But these guys are now playing for the new individual leaderboard where we've got prizes for the top 20. So there's World WCOP tickets up for grabs.
Nice.
We've got the 7 p.m. leaderboard and we've got the 8 p.m. leaderboard. So the 7 p.m. leaderboard concludes tonight with the Sunday roller. It has got, Des, a whopping 102 runners playing in that tonight. We are in the money. We're down to 14 players now. Top 16 get paid. Top prize tonight, $721 and 8 of your US cents up for grabs with that one. So good luck to all of you in there. I can see a number of regular APAT is still in that. Craig Dawson is in there. Nye Venables is in there. Adam Bromley is in there. Austrian captain Lewis Tabib is currently second in chips. And a name that you'll recognize from during the Advent calendar promo, Richard King. He of the multiple chocolate box winning.
Absolutely. The Chocolate King. The Chocolate King is there. And I noticed Craig Dawson.
Yeah.
Craig Dawson is there as well, right? We haven't seen Craig have a deep run for a little while.
No, exactly.
Tried and tested player.
Yeah, so if those that aren't in the Sunday roller, they're probably in the Sunday deep, or probably in both, to be perfectly honest. 143 runners in the Sunday deep stack tonight.
Nice.
Top prize of $164. Top 20 are getting paid. I am going to try and keep up to date with the leaderboards to let people know what's going on. But I have posted the points available for both of them up in the Facebook group. So if anybody's thinking, am I close to getting a prize maybe this week, or what do I need to do to get top and win a main event seat? Go and check it out on there. You'll see all the details, but we'll keep updated. We'll keep an eye on the Sunday roller to start with, as that's coming down to the final table now, and follow the Sunday deep stack. But yeah, lots going on.
Listen, I think I understand what you've actually said there, Lee, because I've read between the lines. What you've actually told us is that you surgically put together poker squads so that every Sunday night, about half a point separated the MVP and the teams and all of that stuff, and we had drama all the way to the end of the night. And what you're saying is, you haven't a clue. You haven't a clue what's happening here tonight. It's so wide. It's like Liverpool centre backs at who should be in midfield. It's the new week of a new leaderboard. Funnily enough, the scoring we're using tonight is the same as we'll be using for the Worlds, for the player of the series. So hopefully it'll get players used to that calculation, and it'll be a calculation that will be, it's got a couple of square roots in it and some other bits and pieces. So no problem whatsoever. Lee, listen, if we don't like the result in the team championship, right? Do we get a couple of days to challenge it, maybe change the result based on the scoring algorithms? I don't like it. I mean, I don't want England to win, Lee, right? That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not an issue, because I had a long conversation with Richard Rudling-Smith yesterday, the Welsh captain, and we've already done a deal. It's not an issue whatsoever. Wales, I mean, I don't want to ruin it. You do tune in next week, folks. But basically, Wales will be winning it. Simple as that. The spreadsheet has already worked it out. So,
we did have some German players on the stream, but they seem to have left. They've gone. Marcus Polsner, do not worry, my friend. We are only joking about this. Stefan Fisher, we're laughing.
I would say taxi for the German players, but that's a whole nother story, isn't it? So,
so listen, Adam, what are you playing tonight? You're in 2 or 3 tourneys. You're streaming. Tell us about that. What have you got going on?
Yeah, I was kind enough to donate to the APAT games, so I've helped build the prize pool there. I've just got two.
I don't see. I'm struggling to see your name, Adam, anywhere on the remaining.
He said donate, Lee. That sounded very past tense to me.
Yeah, if you hit like the 10th page, you'll probably just see my Adam Neal on there, mate. And then I've got a couple of deep runs going on at the moment. One's got 17k up top, and there's 100 left. So.
Oh, nice.
It'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be very nice. But yeah, I'm here to have fun with you guys.
Fantastic. That's what we want to talk about. Okay, let's start with form. How's your form been recently? Are you putting in a lot of volume?
Yeah, I'm probably playing 35 hours a week at the moment. 35, 40 hours a week. It's been good. I've been really, really consistently getting around 13th, 14th. So I'm close. I'm kind of close to getting into these big scores again, which feels really nice. And yeah, it's online is booming at the moment. There's so many people playing, and it's really, really good for the game.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's great fun. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Where are you playing particularly, Adam? Are you sort of moving your money around? Are you playing in one site in particular?
Yeah, mostly I'm playing between Party and 888 actually.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some really good tournaments in 888 which are kind of smaller fields as well. I'm trying to target the smaller field stuff, where I've made mistakes in the past and just gone for like the super deep minefields.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give people. Just really choose your games correctly. Like on a Sunday, there's so many good stuff on. It could easily get caught up in playing like a 1500 field.
No, absolutely. Well, listen, before we get into the depth of what you're doing today, let's just roll it back. First of all, talk about family. Mrs. Neal, and you guys have a little baby, right?
We do, yeah.
1-2-year-old.
Yeah, he's 19 months.
Fantastic.
An absolute monster, an absolute beast. Very, very
keeping you awake at night, I hope.
Yeah, he's very good at night. Touch wood.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about Mrs. Neal. You're talking about the baby. No, we won't. We will just quickly move away from that. And how have you guys been finding the lockdown and sort of all of the crazy changes we've had in the last 9 months?
I mean, the hole in the garden's getting bigger, mate. It's body size now. She's nearly in there. No, it's tough. It's tough, but yeah, we get through it, mate. We're all going to be good. So
yeah, no, that's the right attitude. And what's this I hear about her? She's moving you out to the shed or something to play. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Off to the shed. It'll be a little bed in there soon enough. I'm sure of it.
Well, it's fair enough. That works. That works as long as you get some heating in there, some electricity, and you know what you need. Look at this.
Oh, perfect.
Right. I mean, you need one of those. Yeah. There we go. It's not the volume game, but it's okay. You're getting there. And tell me, Adam, how did you, well, we're going to come back to poker. I want to talk about music for a while. Now, listen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this, but I'm Irish, okay? And I am still listening to people playing the spoons, right? And the bowron and stuff like that. Maybe not that far back, but you have something really interesting going. You're in a band, Terra 4, is that right? Or Terra IV, Terra 4?
Yeah, Terra 4. That's it,
Terra 4, yeah. So, and I've watched your video, and that wouldn't be my style of music in terms of what I've listened to over the years, right? I'm a bit old school for that, but actually it's brilliant, right?
I had to send him a link, by the way, Adam.
Yeah, no, he sent me the link. He sent me the link, and I've listened to it actually numerous times. Very beautifully produced. You have a major part to play in the video. I think you come across as the star of the video, I think, in terms of personality and stuff like that, not just saying that. So, you guys seem to be onto something really, really interesting. How long have you been doing it for? How'd you get into this band? Where are you going to? Just tell us about your music.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a solo artist for many, many years. Since I was like 16, I was just doing music, and I was heavily into like kind of the rap battle side of things. Where you just stand in front of somebody and just basically tear each other apart. And then, I kind of left it for a few years. And then once again in lockdown, just started making music again. Recorded my first album, which I put a lot of time and hard work and a lot of my heart into that album, which got released on streaming platforms and stuff. And then the studio that I went to, the owner of the studio used to be in a band that headlined Download Festival in Madrid and toured Russia and everywhere. And he said, look, I'm going to be putting this band together. Do you want to be involved? And I was like, yeah, why not? I've never done that. It sounds cool. And yeah, we've been doing stuff for about 3 months now.
Wow, that's the result of 3 months worth of work.
Yeah, and the song's only on YouTube, and we actually managed to get our first and my first ever Radio 1 play within the first week of it going on YouTube.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so it's promising, mate. It's very promising.
Yeah, very excited for you. I mean, when Lee said to me, send me the link, and he said, we knew we were getting you on, and he said, I don't know if you know this, Des, but Adam raps. And my first reaction was, this isn't going to be good, right? Because, it's one thing to rap and it's another thing entirely to do it really authentically, right? And I was blown away at how authentically you do it. I think it's superb. And what I want to do, the whole video is just over 3 minutes, right? We're going to play the whole thing, not just a clip from it, because it's really, really good. So, APATers, turn up your volume and just get a load of this. This is Hopeless from Terra 4, and Adam stars in this. You will see that for yourselves.
Power, pain, progress, gain, world has changed, step through flames. Power, pain, progress, gain, world has changed, step through flames.
eye open and two closed, meandering through the dream state, hidden behind a shield of smoke. I'm willing to let what's killing me go. It's still in the past, not bringing the hope. I know, in moments of defeat, I won't retreat. Head to pillow, breathing deep, memories creep up on me. I watch as the rippling waves figure the place, administer waste, finishes algorithm to trace. I gaze upon the sun's glistening rays, retinas braced, I'm left in a daze. Multiple personalities oppose each other, yet merge my sanity. People persist to live a life of fantasy, fixed in tragedy. I don't wanna exist, I wanna live. We hope for a sign that the flames will come, but we've run out of time. We're out still. Pain, hopeless, gain, world has changed. Step through flames. Corners around me, the walls getting closer. My angel flew, now the devil's on my shoulder. Calling my name like he's known me from day one. I opened the door, now I wish that it stay shut. Footprints I made from the path that we walked. Feel I murdered my dreams when I lied, they been choked on. Look to the Lord, I just look to the sun, cause the gods that I've talked to seem to have run. Living in a world where I feel to let go. Emotions are on me, I feel to explode. Walk with my head high, out the chest go. Nearly 3-2, feel I'm up for rest though. Life is a maze, I've been trapped for a long time. Nosebleed highs like I've taken the wrong line. Hope for escape with a head full of haze. Trying to regain steps made, walking this maze. For escape with a head full of haze. Trying to regain steps made, walking this maze. We hope for a sign that the flames will come, but we've run out of time. We're out still. Pain, hopeless, gain, world has changed. Step through flames. Pain, hopeless, gain, world has changed. Step through flames.
Progress gained, world has changed. Step through flames. Power, pain, progress gained, world has changed. Step through flames.
Wow.
Man, thank you
I
so much
gotta
for
say,
playing
that
that.
is absolutely incredible. That's
No,
absolutely
I really appreciate the kind words, man. I
astounding.
really do.
Oh, dude, I mean, on the back of what, 3 months worth of, they've been tied up with these guys. That is insane. I mean, crikey, there's so much going on in there. So I see the rap. Obviously, it feels like there's a bit of metal in there. It feels like there's a bit of soft rock in there. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, where's the inspiration coming for that particular piece of music?
It's kind of like yourself, mate. I it's not my go-to kind of music. Honestly, it's not. But then I've kind of been into kind of softer rock from an early age, and then kind of kept that kind of gritty vibe about my lyrics and the way that I rap and stuff like that. So yeah, when he the guy who's actually singing and playing the guitar, he's the one that makes the beat and instrumental. It kind of just goes with my voice, and kind of I like the direction of it. And yeah, like the rock side of things is really cool, and it's a different audience than I've ever reached. So
yeah, no, it felt very, very authentic to me. I could listen to that now. Look, I don't know what your second track's going to be like, right? And so Chaos Makes the Muse. Is this an album? Is this the next track? What exactly is this?
Oh, you've even have that? That's sick. Thank you so much.
I got a bit of everything, mate. I do my research here. We're good. We go deep on the APAT show.
I like it, mate. I love it. Yeah, so that is the EP.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, so it was going to be out sooner, but we've got somebody on board who could possibly, who could change things massively in regards to sort of PR wise. But we're looking at the 31st of Jan is when it's going to be out.
And what are your ambitions for it? I mean, where do you hope this takes you to?
I'm getting on, mate, now, to be honest. So
hey, steady on. What are you, like 32 or something? I mean,
31.
31. Yeah. There you go. That's hardly getting on. Jesus, I'd swap. I would swap.
Yeah.
I'm like 34. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
really.
That's,
Not really. No, but you're not though. So what? I mean, by the sound of that, you're saying, "I hope this takes me to on the road to riches." Is that?
Yeah, I mean, if I could get like a good 3-4 years of like solid music out and actually create a fan base and people actually are liking what they're hearing and stuff like that, then I'd be fully happy, mate. Even if I don't make any crazy money out of it, if I just have an experience,
Yeah.
I'm all about an experience. To be
Yeah,
honest.
it's happiness, right? And tell me, your good lady's first name?
Charlie.
Charlie. Okay, what does Charlie make of it all? Is she? I mean, I'm sure she's supportive, but this is a departure, right? Is it risky? I mean, how does she feel?
Yeah, but it was risky getting involved with me 10 years ago, mate. To be honest, she's really good. She puts up with so much. To be honest, she puts up with so much. So it's just one of these things where she's never held me back from wanting to do anything, and it's just I mean, she let me go to the Caribbean just after my son was born, which is insane. Which is and.
Oh, she sounds like a keeper. She sounds like a keeper. Well done to the both of you. Not easy to do that, to let you off to the Caribbean and what have you. No. But that support, I'm sure, is very, very welcomed at home. So when can we expect this EP to drop? At the end of Jan? How would the guys get hold of the music? Spotify, presumably?
Yep, so Spotify. It's on. It will be on Spotify. The video's on YouTube, but regarding the EP, it will be all over Spotify, Amazon, kind of Google, all the streaming sites, basically.
Awesome. Okay. Well, why don't you put a link to your YouTube page in the chat box so the guys want to check out the video? Because honestly, you watch it 2 or 3 times, and there's so much you can see in it. Right, there's so much you can see. So really nice piece of music. Who did the production on it? Because Lee and I obviously are interested in that side of things as well. And I love the dark colors, and I just thought they put it together fantastically.
Yeah, so the guy who's actually singing, the guy with the beard, and singing, he is the one who actually he shot the music video. He done the actual music side of it, like the production side of it as well. So
nice job. And presumably, if the guy with the beard who's doing the singing did it, presumably it didn't cost a lot, because that's a very expensive looking result for what hopefully was a low investment.
Yeah, so it actually cost us £20 each.
£20 a piece. £20 a piece, Lee.
Wow. That's like 10 times the budget of the APAT show. That's
I don't believe it from what I've seen.
Yeah. Next, the guests are going to be asking for grapes and all of that sort of shit in the green room before the show. We're not going there. Listen, absolutely stunning, Adam. So that is Adam's music. He's added a link into the chat box, guys, if you want to sort of follow up on that. Just going back into the chat box, Lee. Who else do we have in there? So I mentioned Marcus Pulsar has joined us. Mark Brasington is there. Ben Greer is there. An Iron, we mentioned earlier, he didn't make the Welsh team. Before this week, you haven't seen me have a deep run for a while. So he's going gentle on rudders. I think he's sort of saying it's okay that I wasn't selected. Gaz Howard has joined. And just for Gaz, I just want to show him that's what a gold medal looks like, Gaz. There you go. John Evans is watching. Clement Hare is laughing at us. So I think the international captains are accepting that the fix is not going to happen. Grant Monaghan has joined. Peter Wigglesworth is there. Rob Adams, Adam Hughes. Peter says, we want to see some battles, rap battles. I mean, is there it's a very good point. Is there an online streaming platform for rap battles? You'd have thought that was a thing.
Yeah, there's not so much in regards to like a live stream, but there's definitely a scene for rap battles. Yeah, it's worldwide as well. Yeah, it's very big.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but there must be a lot of people who do it badly. I mean,
yeah.
So you do it well, right? I think we can all admit that you do it well. What do you do if some youngster comes up to you and says, Adam, just watch this, mate. Look at my chops here, and he does it really badly. I mean, how vicious are you with him, or do you, Mikel Arteta style, put your arm around his shoulders and say, son, just keep working on that? What's your approach?
It depends. The times that I was doing it, I used to get so drunk. I used to get so drunk and do it, and I had no filter really. It was kind of one of them things where, once again, I was just young and I didn't really care if it went good or bad. I just got up there and done it. It was in front of big crowd. I actually done it in front at Reading Festival. It was 3,000 people in the tent.
Really?
And
How did you
it
get
was
that gig?
just through the scene that I was in. I was just very, very fortunate. Yeah.
We've got a young Eminem on the show, Lee. We're not paying for him, are we? If we're paying for him, cut him short, right? Get him off.
Yeah.
I was just thinking I could do with some chocolate. No, is that?
Oh, listen, Carl Pilgrim is with us. Dan Walsh is there. Paul Haycock, £20 to charity for a rap battle. Wiltshire first. Okay, I'm with that. I'll give 20 quid to charity as well.
Face to face at an event.
I have me curtains down. No, I can't do it. That's it. I got one line out. Is that worth a tenner?
Yeah.
No, he's not doing it. Even for charity, Lee is not going to do it. It was a fairly safe bet, I think, Paul Haycock. We saw what you did there.
Yeah.
And Iron says,
I'm getting kind of huffy. I'll pass it back to Duffy. Yeah.
listen, and Iron is back in. He's busy tonight. Defo, some 30 Seconds to Mars vibes in there. So we're seeing lots of stuff in the music. Michael Christensen, Little Lincoln Park in there too. That's Michael Wright in Canada. Michael, I hope you're well, my friend. Really good to hear from you. Adam's put his links in there. Greg Searston has joined. Danny Strange is watching, the new England captain. But he's picked his team, guys, so don't go licking at his ankles. It's done. It's dusted. You're not in. Learn to live with it. Stefan, is there more new info about WCOAP? Yes, Stefan, it's coming soon. Not the info. The WCOAP is going to start next Saturday. Lee, we've put all of the info's out, right? Is there more stuff? Do they want more stuff?
Well, I guess the point is that we, since last week's show, we've upped what we were going to do for the player of the series. So that's now going to be 2 players of the player of the series. We've got the main series and we've got the mini series, and we've got a prize for both. So the main player of the series will win a $5,000 online millions ticket for that main event. The mini series winner will win a millions mini, which is about $1,000 worth. Plus, we've added some $55 satellite tickets for the 10th to 2nd to 10th place. Sorry, in both of those as well. So we've upped that a little bit. So that's pretty exciting. The satellites are running every night at the moment. 8:45. 3 different satellites going there at the moment. They are smashing the guarantees. So seriously good value to get in and win some tickets for those guys. And obviously, we know that there will be more satellites coming in the week to come. But yeah, this time next week, Des, we are going to be deep into event number 1.
Listen, Lee, listen. At around this time last week, we were talking somewhat solemnly about Scouse's message within the Facebook group that, it was just too expensive. It was too expensive. And then he went and sold 450% of himself, right? So he's oversubscribed by about 450%. I don't know how he's going to split the prize pool if he makes the money. And he's qualified for every event via satellite.
But it's okay because we can now talk to Scouse live from his private island. Are you there, Scouse? Are you there?
Yeah, he's with Bill Perkins. Bill, let Scouse come to the phone. What else have we got? Gaz Howard says, Des, never change. Okay, Gaz, just for you, right? I'm going to do an unboxing, right? Just for you, Gaz, right? You might recognize it. Like. Do you recognize this? Season 1, Lee, right? Season 1.
Yeah,
it's come out of the attic because I knew Gaz would be on tonight. Look, it's got the old Hoojamy, right? And look, it's never been opened. Never been opened. Just for you, Gaz. Do you know why it's just for you? Do you know why it's just for you? Silver.
Hey.
There we go. It's silver. Thank you, Gaz. What else have we got? Asa said, Gaz will have a golden 8 days' time. We'll see. I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. Simon Lawler is with us. Hi to you, Simon. Janny Strange.
So Stefan's asked, is the team stream from the start or just from 10 p.m.? We are going to start the team streams each night a little bit earlier next weekend. Because obviously we want to make sure we can update you guys on what's going on, obviously with the leaderboard, because obviously that does matter. So yeah, we will be doing a little bit of a longer stream, certainly for Saturday and Sunday for the team event, and then it's very much going to be where we're at for the final tables each night, really, as to quite what we'll do. We're going to have to work around that. So we'll make sure we let you guys know through the Facebook group what's going on. But yeah, we'll obviously look to want to make sure that we capture every single final table throughout the world.
And listen,
Des and I have committed to doing a stream every single night. So
I thought we said every second night, Lee. Didn't we say every
every
second?
second night.
It was every second night. It wasn't every night, Lee.
Check
every
the small
second
print.
night. You said starting tonight.
When you signed the contract, Des, that's what you went for. It's all right. You bought that extra wide cable now, so you'll be fine. It'll be okay.
It takes me a night to wash my hair. I mean, okay, we are going to be streaming every night. Can't wait, guys. And we do have one exclusive announcement. We can make one exclusive WCOAP announcement tonight, and that is, we've discussed this, Lee. I promise you know about this. For the winner of every event, right? Whether we catch that win or not, for the winner of every event, we are going to play their national anthem at the end of the stream, right? We're going to do that. We're going to do that if the winner is Irish, okay? I've got to say, we're only doing that for the Irish wins, but for every single event, we are actually going to play the national anthem. So I think that'll be cool. And if we miss the final result, we will play it at the start of the following evening's stream. And I think that is a pretty cool thing, and I hope you guys enjoy that.
What I really want now is I want all those players that live in obscure countries that Des has never heard of. Please try your hardest to win a bracelet in the next 2 weeks, so Des can have to try and find your national.
I will not be tricked.
Story once was it? I can't think where it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
The Olympics,
they played
or something,
the wrong
right?
national anthem.
They did.
It was
yeah.
the Olympics, wasn't
but
it?
It's detailed. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. Even the person from that country was stood atop the podium, didn't know. It was that obscure. We will be doing remixes of anthems that we can't find on YouTube. Okay, I might need to rap some of them myself.
We're going to get Adam on. We'll get Adam on.
We'll get Adam on. We'll do it. That's what we'll do. Yeah. Adam and an Iron just rapping the Liechtenstein national anthem. I want to see that.
I was going to say, Adam rapping the Welsh national anthem would be brilliant.
I'm willing to put £20 towards that particular feat. So listen, just going back into the chat box, Danny Strange has, he's got his pointy finger up at England winning the gold. So he likes the sound of that, quite right. Lou Brush, the Scottish captain, is in there as well. No nonsense, Lou Brush. Scotland going to win, Lee? Do you fancy Scotland? It's quite an experienced team there.
You know, I'll tell you what's been interesting. So first of all, actually, whilst we're talking about this, can I just say thank you to all 10 captains that have stepped up for the team event, and the fact that we announced the schedule, last weekend, and within a week, not only did I get 10 captains to confirm and all up for it, and we had many more that could have got in, obviously, but we were capped. But they've all got their teams together already, locked in, ready to go. They're ready to go tomorrow if they could. They're all absolutely desperate to play this event. So a huge thank you to them. And the scary thing is, there's not a weak team in there at all. No, they are super strong teams.
Listen, Lee, I don't want to pick anyone out, right? But I'm going to. We have a Bundesliga professional footballer in there. I'm not going to say any more, but he plays in the Bundesliga. Look, even Adam is go, what? Really?
For anyone that doesn't know, I had a message last week from Clement Heyer, who's the German captain, and he said to me, I've got I'm thinking of maybe getting this guy, and he sent me a link, and I said, really, Crocky, you're well connected. And he said, oh no, I've just sent him a message, and he might literally 3 days later he confirmed his team, and the guy's in there.
He's in.
So Max Cruz is in, and Max Cruz plays for Union Berlin, German striker, well into his poker.
They're like
an amateur player.
He's an amateur top 5 in the Bundesliga league.
Yeah, before anybody wants to go to the professional footballer, but very much an amateur poker player. And if you don't believe me, go and Google Max Cruz poker, and you'll see exactly what I mean. But a very good player. All the same.
Awesome.
He's
awesome.
I'm desperately looking forward to playing. So currently injured at the moment. So
the Germans
very, very much is in.
love their poker, and I'm really interested to see how they do in the event. Talking about a great international, Brendan Byrne has said, "Evening guys, can't imagine Adam without a filter. Sound lad." You'd have to agree. Sound lad.
Thank you.
Stefan says, "Don't I know it?" We're not quite sure what Stefan is saying there. It is for the first. Okay, the team stream. Is it from the start or just from 10 p.m.? I think you've addressed that, Lee. Gaz, next week, watch this space for the medals. Tris, I'll never forget the guy who sold 130% of himself in the World Series of Poker main and then cashed. Tricky spot, I'll say. He owed people money. Nigel Hardy says, does Adam coach? Okay, a serious question, Adam. Do you coach?
No, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to coach, in all honesty. But I'm way off of being able to coach. I'm still learning.
Okay, I thought you rapped very well. I'm really surprised that you don't give the lessons, because Nigel's got talent, right? He's got moves, I believe. Okay, no coaching, Nigel. Just keep working him. Send him messages on Facebook. He might do you small favor. Stefan says, he's all questions. Stefan is all. He just can't wait. He's probably not sleeping. He's insomniac at the moment.
For anyone that doesn't know, Stefan is captaining the Netherlands team this year. They are the reigning world champions at the moment, having won in Vienna in 2019. He's super excited and managed to get not the same team that played in Vienna. Unfortunately, couldn't get all the guys together for that. They're all really keen to play when we next play live. But Stefan's got a very strong team together, and looking forward to see whether they can defend their title.
Fantastic. Don't worry, Stefan. We will get that info to you. It's coming, right? It is coming. Roddy Farmer is with us. Roddy is another Twitcher. Roddy is a Twitcher. Good to have you on, Roddy. Aniran talks about Liechtenstein is the tune of God Save the Queen. I think he's right. Right.
That's great pub quiz knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Which takes me to an important point, Lee. How come, there isn't a GB team in this? I mean, why have we wasted 3 team spots on England, Scotland and Wales? I mean, just, lump them in as one. What?
Could you imagine trying to put a Great Britain side together? I mean,
who would you have in charge? Would you have, if I had to nail your colours to the mast, would it be Shug, Danny Strange, or Rudders?
Oh, dear Frank.
Frank, yes. Let's put an Irishman in front of the GB
get
team.
Frank to do it. Yeah, that'd be the best way to do it. Yeah, I think. It'd be impossible. Crikey, it's hard enough for Danny trying to pick an England team. I mean, just let alone trying to have it. If you throw in a few of the other countries as well, not easy.
Oh, not easy at all. Listen, Tomo has joined us, so the night is immediately a better place. Good to have you on, Tomo. Hope you're well. So, Lee, why don't we get a quick update on the poker? Shall I put a table up for 5 or 10 minutes? Let's just have a look, see who's there, or do you want to hold off to the final table of said roller?
We're 11 left in the roller. So you can pop a table up if you want to.
We'll just give the guys. Tell you what we'll do. We'll put the table up.
Actually, we're down to 10 now. Actually,
okay.
Chip Leader's currently the Austrian captain. Lewis Tabib. He's currently leading the way.
Nice, showing a bit of form.
With 10 players remaining. I mean, I could make an early call here on the leaderboard, but I'm very nervous as it's week 1 of these new leaderboards. I might have this horribly wrong. So I'm holding back, and it cost me some tickets last week. Did you hear about this?
No. Did you have to give out compensation?
Goodness me, honestly. Oh, no. Last time I gave an early call on who I thought was going to win the leaderboard, and they were going to finish second, and then they got pipped for second, and I felt bad, having kind of effectively, called them out as being second place team. So I've sorted them out some tickets as well. We'll do for this week when we put the request in. So
I'll tell you what, you're a decent man, Lee, and I'm sure you're going to figure out how to get Party Poker to pay for those, because that's what we do, right?
If only. That's another bit of your Ferrari fund gone, Des.
I've given up on the Ferrari, Lee. I've given up on the Ferrari, I have to say. Listen, we never did find out, and we leave the poker on screen for the moment. We never did find out how Adam got into poker. So when did you find the game, Adam? Did you get into it at home, or, was it out in the clubs, or, where did it come from, your interest?
It was just friends. I was with friends, and just on a Friday night, we'd get together and just have a few beers and just have a really friendly game, really. And that was it. It was just, a social thing, as many people got into it.
Oh yeah, it's such a great social game. And tell me, when did you sense that you had good game? I mean, were you winning those games? Did you? Yeah. Were you more patient, or what were the signs?
Yeah, I was winning to begin with, and then I kind of went to a casino, and I was at Luton Casino playing like the £5 rebuy and stuff, and just enjoying it. I really, really enjoy the social side of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what got my love for it, really.
Oh, nice.
What sort of time? When would that have been? What sort of time?
Yeah, I would have been 19.
So
18
would have
or
been around
19.
so
It's
about,
12 years ago.
yeah, so about 2008. I mean, the Luton poker scene
Carmel.
around that time was strong, really.
Yeah,
A lot
some
of
really good
players
characters.
That
that
was-
would be playing regular poker in the likes of the G and that kind of thing. That's
right.
not an easy place to learn the ropes.
Yeah, it was full of characters as well. It was one of them places that it were just outside of London sort of thing, and there was a lot of London characters and that. And yeah, it was good, great fun.
That would have been right in the middle of the fruit period, which was a very rich period for Luton poker. So you'd get a break at midnight, tuck into a bowl of fruit or something. The pies buffet was done away with. I don't think the locals were happy for a period of time. Of course, we have great memories of Luton. We had a lot of APAT events there over the years. Know Carmel very, very well. I'm not sure if Carmel is still there, but we certainly had a lot of time for Carmel.
There, yeah.
Love Carmel.
Yeah.
No nonsense Irish woman, right? Just
My first ever APAT event was Luton.
I remember that 2007. I'm going to say.
Yeah,
Right.
sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the event that Gareth Ower won?
It was a European,
Euros.
so would that be right?
Yeah,
that'd
that was
be right.
Gareth Ower. I remember that well. So you found your game. You then sort of took it into the casinos. How long did it take you to get up to speed with some of those more serious? And there were serious players at Luton.
Yeah, there was. It was really, really gradual in regards to getting into bigger stuff. I was always just kind of the sort of £20 kind of guy for many years, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got lucky in a couple of games to get a couple of nice results. You just have to get lucky in this game to get results.
Yeah, of course you do. Gives you a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence. And tell me, how would you describe your style as a player?
It's changed. People would probably consider me more on the aggressive side.
Yeah.
But over the past kind of 3 years, I've definitely reined it in. So I'd say I'm fairly passive. I'm setting up the story. I'm setting up the long story.
He's telling us everything, Lee, but he's really not telling us anything. I see what he's doing here.
I just need to wait 30 seconds for Michelle Gascoigne to hear that, and then she'll respond in the chat.
Yeah, she'll tell us. She will tell us the truth.
She will tell us the truth.
And tell me, are you a data guy, a numbers guy, or are you a feel guy, or do you look into somebody's eyes? I mean, what's your proposition?
I go on intuition a lot. So I'll kind of go against the grain in regards. I'm doing a lot of studying now as well, something that I didn't used to do. But even there's so much in live poker which you just have an intuition in this game, and not everybody's got it. But if you can rely on it at times, it's incredible what it can do.
No, absolutely. And tell me, Adam, tournaments or cash? Where do you enjoy your poker?
Okay, so definitely tournaments, but if I have a really bad Sunday, I've been known to go to the G at 1 a.m. and donate some money at cash.
I think there's a word for that, Lee, is there not?
I've just got to pick you up. So obviously, yeah, those watching at home, are on a 30-second delay here. So it's now all come through. So Gareth Howard, passive, easy call. Ian Thompson, passive. Michelle Gascoigne, passive. Fold or fold. Yeah. So,
that bluff didn't get through, lads. No,
definitely not.
I'll tell you, we've had quite the response there. Online or live? Where's your preference?
I would have said online. I'm missing live. I like live a lot, mate. Yeah.
Is it gonna come back this year? Do you think?
Yeah, I think it will. I really do. I really honestly think it will. I think it's going to be probably September time, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's coming back, Lee. We've had this discussion many, many times,
and we discussed the Rob Young tweet where he wanted to know what's people's views. I mean, and I was very much, when he put that out, I was very much a sort of third quarter of the year. I thought there would be something. For sure in the UK. I still don't think I've changed that view, although it may end up getting pushed a little bit later than that. But I think, Adam, your sort of September sort of time feels like it might be people testing the water and seeing what the appetite is.
It's going to be such a good buzz. Like it's going to really be an incredible buzz. Like at these events, it's going to be so good.
how are we going to feel about having the sort of the passing around the sort of hand cream and stuff for the button, because that's going to go on for a while now, right?
Yeah, I mean, it will.
People are going to get stared at if they don't wash their hands after going to the loo now, right? You realize there's no getting away with that now, guys, right? You got to wash your hands after you have a wee.
I actually think it'll be. I think it'll genuinely be better. I do think that people are so much more aware now of these things, and so I think we got complacent. Whether COVID had come along or not, we just got generally complacent about these things, and it's been a proper wake up call. And I think in go on.
Tell me we're going to be able to shake hands with people, right? We're not going to lose the basic contact.
No, there's no reason. No, there'll be no reason why not. I don't think. I don't think that'll be an issue whatsoever. Yeah.
I'm going home if we're not shaking hands any longer, right? I'm taking my ball and going home. Yeah. I have another question for Adam. When did you come across APAT then?
Let me think. It was quite a few years ago now. I'd probably say I got into it through Cole Pilgrim, I think.
Oh yeah,
maybe
okay. The skipper.
The legend, the absolute legend. Maybe 7-8 years ago. I haven't been one of these guys that has been. I wish I'd merged myself into it as much as I could early on, because the community is always incredible, and whoever I meet is always so nice. And this is exactly what I like about poker. I'm not one of these people that. I just have this thing where so many people are so stuck up in this game, like in this industry as well. Yeah. And this, like from early on, I could see that this is an incredible. So yeah, about 7-8 years, mate.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, we, I go along with that. We like to think. I always have liked to think about APAT as being a fun, warm sort of place to be, but not at a cost to the poker, right? It's deadly competitive. People want to win. A lot of good players out there, a lot of players who are new to the game, but everybody wants to win. And I think that's really important. But you're right, poker has its characters and not all of them are nice people. So
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
No, I appreciate those comments.
It's something that I think that like many of us can take as well. Like we're so lucky. Just like I used to be one of these players that thought, oh, this rubbish player, like he's getting so unlucky against me. But that's just so old now. Like we're so lucky to play this game. Like in a time like this where people are losing their jobs and stuff, we're sitting here and we're playing a game for money. Like we're so blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah, unless you're me, because frankly.
It
works in reverse, right? If you play a game for money, it's your money you're playing for. It's your money sort of going out. You're planning to play a big schedule at WCOAP. You're planning to Twitch a lot of that. Tell us why have you chosen WCOAP? There's a lot of stuff on parties, a lot of stuff on Ace and GG and all of the other sites.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm getting, so I've just obviously built this shed, which is just going to be a streaming thing for me. I could do the music and stuff, and I just thought it'd be a really good time to get the channel back going and really build a community. So why not start with like getting involved in probably the best poker community that I know of, and that's the APAT, and the festivals coming. So I thought, why not? So and it's a good event.
Yeah, I mean, delighted to hear that. And, I think over the duration of, whatever tournaments you play, and we're going to check in on you, right? So we'll get you on the line. We'll get updates from you. We'll cover, some of your streams. We can do all of that stuff. It's really interesting, right? It's always interesting to get different insight into how players are playing particular events. And the WCOAP does feel like our festival. We're always talking about other people's festivals. And that particular festival is just such an amazing week and a half, 2 weeks away when it happens live. And people come from all over Europe. And, that's an odd thing for £50 buy-in events and £100 buy-in events. But they do, and they have done for many, many years now. A lot of them are sort of in the chat box looking forward to doing it online next week. So it does feel like that is our festival. So I think there'll be a hell of a buzz around it online. Of course, it won't be the same, right? It's never going to be the same. We don't have all of the variations that we'd typically offer at a WCOAP, but we've got as many as we possibly can. We've got a great sort of, guaranteed prize pool, a lot of bracelets to be won. We're gonna follow it very, very closely. I think it's going to be a great week and a half. I'm looking forward to it, Lee. What do you think?
Adam, will you be playing, do you just play Hold'em, or do you play the Omaha variants? Would you play the stud game, and what's your abilities?
I'll play the Omaha stuff. People laugh at me because I played one Omaha tournament and won it, and then I just thought I was a god. And as it goes, but yeah, I don't know nothing about. But I'm going to get in, mate. I'm going to get into everything and just have fun in that. Really, I think.
Have fun. Well,
Excellent.
hopefully some caches to follow. We will see. Lee, listen, I'm going to put this roller final table up. We've lost one seat.
I just wanted to talk about that because I'm talking about people having fun and do whatever. Is so on this final table, he's currently short stack. Unfortunately, on this roller final table is Paul Rogers, but at 7th place, he's already locked up $117. Well, you flip over to the Sunday deep stack with 22 players left, 20 getting paid, and he's chip leader in that. So he's having a cracking night.
Great.
On APAT.
That would be a nice double.
So final table, the one, chip leader in the other. So going well at the moment. Yeah, so those that might just be joining, 102 runners in the Sunday roller tonight. We are down to this final table. Players are just going on a break because we are 5 to the hour. So sync breaks are in play. So it gives me a chance to actually just run down who we've got here remaining on this this final table. 7 players remaining. Chip leader is Lewis Tabib, who's the Austrian captain. Next week will be representing Austria in the World Championships of Amateur Poker. He's got nearly 1.2 million. Nye Venables, stalwart of APAT Online during lockdown and obviously APAT throughout the years as well, just shy of 1 million chips. Richard King, the chocolate box, the chocolate king from the Advent Calendar promotion. His wife and mum did really well out of APAT over Christmas, so can't complain. So he's there as well. Jonathan Elworthy, Christophe Savet from Belgium. He's got just over 500,000 chips. Pavel Gavrish and Paul Rogers, who I've already mentioned. So they're the 7 players remaining. The guys are all guaranteed nearly $120, but it's $720 up top. I mean, nice. $720, Des, that's pretty much like that's the world's schedule done, isn't it? Nearly, pretty much.
Well, it depends on who you are, basically. Well, but yeah, also, in theory,
you win the Sunday roller. So
it's a
$33 buy-in
passport.
Yeah, you might have got in for $3.30 if you played the feeders into this. And potentially, $720. That's pretty much everything apart from the high rollers, I think.
Well, it's funny.
For the,
I looked in here a little earlier, Lee. I think we were down to about 3 or 4 tables, and Adam Bromley was on there, right? He was going deep. And I thought to myself, he's playing for Natalie's shoes again, right? So one person's WCOAP passport is another person's wife's pair of shoes.
Very much
just
so.
The way it happens, and that's okay. That's totally fine. So, where are we going to go to next, Lee? I know. Do you want to show this fantastic graphic? Well, let me pop that up. Of the teams, right? Why don't you tell us who's playing for the World Team Championship?
Yeah, so with 10 teams. So I said we wish we could have got more in, but in a strange way, running it online, as daft as this may sound, Adam was going to laugh at this when I say this, but actually running it online means we had to kind of cap it, which seems bizarre for an online compared to a live event. But it was just a case of, we've not run this in this kind of complexity online before. So we capped it at 10, which is obviously 10 players per sit and go. So we've got Austria, Belgium, Canada, England, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Romania, Scotland, and Wales. 4 players per team. They're going to play in total 6 rounds of sit and goes. So each round of sit and go will consist of 2 no limit hold'ems, 1 Omaha and 1 Omaha high-low, and a player from each team will be sat at those tables. They'll earn points for where they finish in those sit and goes. 1 point for finishing 10th, right up to 15 points if you win the sit and goes. It's like a Formula One style scoring system for that. And basically all of their points get added together to create an overall team leaderboard. Top 3 teams will win the cash and the medals, and obviously the winning team will take home the World Championship of Amateur Poker bracelets as well. So, it's going to be really competitive. I mean, do you play much sit and goes, Adam, or are you more a tournament type player?
More tournament. More tournaments, mate. I haven't dabbled in the sit and goes as much. But that's going to be great. Like the whole layout, and just from putting that graphic up, there's so many good names that I recognise in there. It's going to be great fun.
So do you recognise quite a few of the players then? Yeah. So
yeah, I recognise a few names there. John Murray, Ben, in the Scottish team. Great guy. It's going to be good fun.
Bunch of well-known APATers, and just for any of you guys who want to follow that event, or who have family and friends that might want to follow that event, send them to the live show, right? So don't necessarily have them bothering you while you're playing, send them to the live show. We're going to follow it in detail. We will have a live scoreboard that will sort of update in real time as stuff happens. So there will be no better place to follow that particular event than here on the show. And arguably, given that the show's on every night, you know, send your family and friends here, right? And we can treat this as we would a more traditional live update. If somebody writes in the chat box, you know, can you tell me how John Murray is getting on or what have you, you know, we can absolutely do that. We can put his table up. We can talk through some of his hands. We don't do all sorts of interesting things.
That's a poor example. I mean, no one's going to ask.
John Murray obviously won't survive past the first level.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the only mention there'll be of John, won't there? So
listen, hair jokes aside, but has anyone seen John since the barber's closed? I mean, he could be behind a wall, a wall of hair at this particular point. Adam, listen, what the hell did you do with your hair for that picture? Because you came out there looking quite immaculate. Your picture on Facebook, which we put up in the thread, it can't be real, right? That's a Photoshop job, right? Take the hat off. Come on, Adam. Take the hat off. Let's see what...
This is how we're looking these days.
There we go. I don't feel so bad now. That's not too bad. Actually, you still got quite short hair. You're quite a lucky bloke there. I mean,
I don't know whether you'll have picked up on it, Adam, but Des actually called you an Adonis on Facebook.
I did. Well, he's a good-looking guy. You know, he's a good-looking guy. I mean, you know,
if I
didn't think my Welsh girlfriend would kick me, you know, I'd have to look at him and think, wow, look at that. Not to be. For one thing, I'd be afraid he'd beat me up or something. He's a rapper, for God's sake. He's a rapper.
One of those looks good for good, mate. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, we've all got some of those. Listen, going back to the chat box, Lee, and then we'll take a look at some of the poker. The guys have just come back again. So Tris has said, was just going to say big WCOAP setup here. And we've discussed that. Neal Hayden has joined. Chris Pugh has joined. Dean Pearson is in the house. Samir Hassoun is here. Gareth Howard says, Adam, what's your opinion on Will Kassouf? Usually gets a decent reaction. Well, we're not looking for controversy here, so you can choose the fifth. Can we say that, Lee? I choose the fifth. Up to you, my friend, if you want to answer that.
Feels appropriate, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, no real opinion. No real opinion.
Nice guy, decent chat,
good
runner.
He went quiet, and then he actually didn't Will win something?
He did
just before
something
Christmas,
big,
or
massive. Yeah, I think he won $250,000 again.
Yeah, but I'd not heard a lot about him for a while. It gone fairly quiet, and then all of a sudden, reappears with a big win.
Yeah. I mean, Will is he's such a nice natured guy. But this is why this game's unfair, because this guy doesn't play online, and then he goes and wins $250,000.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed, I have to say, and it's down to everybody's interpretation, but I really enjoyed reading about and then watching on ESPN some of his antics when he had that deep World Series of Poker main event run, because, you know, he brought a bit of life to the game, and it's very easy to misunderstand that type of approach. I was always willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I quite like the speech play. It is part of the game. It doesn't necessarily, transcribe well on TV. And certainly he threw some of the US pros' noses out of joint of that. There was no doubt. But I sort of miss it. You know, the game needs characters, and, you know, Will may have flaws. We all have flaws, but he was a little bit different, and different is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I agree with you, mate.
So just in answering to Marian's question, how many teams were we running live before? We'd normally have at least sort of 16 teams for the live World Championships. It depends on where we're hosting it and who can travel or whatever. So yeah, we'd normally have that. But obviously, you know, we've had teams from far afield. We've had, you know, US teams in before. We've had guys that have flown over from Canada. Mentioned one earlier on who's to come and play in the World Tour. We've had a team from Malaysia that played in the team event before. So yeah, teams from all over the place. And basically, it's the kind of the more the merrier. We just this year we're in. By the time we got the schedule out, and we were on a fairly quick turnaround for wanting to get it together. So we're limited online for this particular one, but I've no doubt, when we go again, it certainly will be an expanded countries in the team list moving forward.
No, absolutely. And I think, we recently took down Poker Squads, right, which was an amazingly popular promotion for us, league for us throughout lockdown. And part of what we're trying to do now is to establish team games in such a way that actually party can really get behind them. And, to do that, there's certain elements of team games that we need to sort of adjust. But I think Party could be a magnificent partner with us for team games if we can find a format that works for both parties. So it makes sense to start small. I think that's part of the reason why I'm personally quite comfortable that we're starting with 10 teams for the team event. I think we can keep a really watchful sort of eye on it, as indeed will Party, because I think the potential for team events online is huge when done in the right way. So Clement, German team captain, WCOAP full schedule is $1,778. Yeah, it is indeed, including event number 1. So it's not an insignificant investment. It's a pretty significant investment. A lot of value, of course, up top should you cash one or two of those events. But, we will always say this. Do not get carried away, right? Always play within your bankroll, and always gamble responsibly, right? That is that is something that we take very, very seriously around here. Marion Giori says, "Good evening to you, Marion from Hungary." Matthew Wood is with us. Marion said, "How many teams you were running live before?" Well, we've had up to 16 teams. And of course, we used to have a heads up round. So when you had 16 countries and you had a full heads up round, that often went to 30 plus dealers. So there was always limitations around the fact that it was a 2-day event. But 16 countries pretty comfortably. Carl is in the house. Evening, guys. So your old pal, Carl, is there, yes. Adam. Listen, Carl is the worst stand-up comedian that I've ever heard of. I mean, he doesn't stand up well, right? He would be the first to admit that.
I was wondering where you were going with that for a minute.
His jokes are atrocious.
Goodness me.
I haven't said anything controversial there. I haven't said anything Carl wouldn't say himself. Definitely one of my favorite guys, Carl Pilgrim, and the winner of 2 APAT national events and a world amateur team gold medal. Gaz, are you listening? Gold medal. Let me just look. That's what it looks like. It's gold. That is Carl. We have a lot of time for Carl around here. Paul Rogers is watching. So is Paul still going well here on this final table? He is indeed. 366,000. Good evening to you, Paul. Brian Jones is there. Gunther Surings is in. Going to be good fun and competition. So Gunther is captain in Belgium, Lee, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I actually had a conversation with Gunther earlier on today. Just had a quick 5-10 minute chat with him. And yeah, he's super excited. Got a really, really good team. He's managed to get Salvatore Pino in his team, who many, many people will know has played a lot of online games during lockdown with APAT. So that's nice to see as well. And a couple of the other guys that play live in Belgium. So really looking forward to it.
Listen, Lee, Salvatore sounds like a pro. Can we get him banned? Let's ban him. He sounds like a pro, Lee. He's not going to help the Irish if Belgium have a good team. Craig McGuinness.
Not that there's any bias here at all. No.
Not luckily. We can do this off air, right? We can do this off air. We'll do it quietly. Craig, the captain of the Canadian team. Evening, guys. Evening to you, Craig. Tomo says, evening to you, Ian. Tris says, JP Masters online on Party.
That was the Will Kassouf win.
Okay, nice.
I'm assuming, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and Carl said Joe Stapleton played one year. He did. He played for the US. I remember that well. 35-1.
They just never mentioned to him that it was a 2-day tournament. That was the slight problem.
Carl is laughing at stand-up. Thank God he got my joke. That's quite unique, Carl. See, a joke can be gotten. And Gaz says, you know what? I hope Van Dijk comes back and bags 5 own goals. That's a terrible thing to say. Did you know, Lee, did I mention Adam is an Arsenal fan? Let me just put the poker up and we'll talk about football for a few minutes, right? Let's see if we can do that. There we go. There's the poker. Let me throw that in just so that people understand the value that's on offer. So it's been a difficult sort of season from an Arsenal point of view, Adam, albeit the last 5 games you're unbeaten. You've won 4 of them. You've got a decent shot at adding another W tomorrow at home to Newcastle.
Newcastle is tomorrow. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it is. So, are you a sort of a happy gunner at the moment, or are you concerned, or?
Yeah, we're just kind of plodding along, mate. We've got so many problems. We've had so many problems for so long. We're at a place where I don't really know the direction in which we're going as a club. Like we have so many issues that I don't think anywhere near resolved, and they should have been resolved many years ago.
Yeah. Are you ready to bring back Arsene Wenger yet?
He's got to come back, mate.
Really?
Got to bring the king back. Nah, we can't.
He was a legend, though. I mean, you guys had some glorious times, 10, 15 years ago in particular. I mean, obviously you had the double, you had the unbeaten run. There was such a long period where you had a great Arsenal team, arguably an Arsenal team that were incredibly unlucky to come up against maybe a slightly better Man United team. But there were some great days in the Premier League, right?
Yeah, incredible, and it kind of goes back to the days where there was some real rivalries going on at that time as well.
What are you saying? Are you saying there aren't real rivalries today? I would leave for 2.5 hours watching Liverpool and Man United go scoreless.
No, but I know what Adam says because we spoke about this before we did the football stream today, and I said what I said to Des was this felt like to the United Liverpool game today felt like the first time where I was kind of bothered. For a good while, because before that, Liverpool were never a really competition for United when we were really up there and winning championship after championship. And in more recent times, we've not even been close. So it's been a good while before I've actually gone, oh, this is against two teams here that actually potentially, and I still don't know how we're even remotely talking about United being top of the table. That's just a bizarre situation that we're in
there now.
But we're there at the moment, and it's unusual. It's a strange one, but Arsenal's a funny one because it wasn't that long ago, and the media were all like, "Well, Ollie doesn't know what's going on, and look at Michael Arteta. I mean, Arsenal have got that right. They picked the right guy and whatever." And then all of a sudden, you fell off the cliff, and United went on a ridiculous run, and everyone was saying, "Well, Arsenal could get relegated," and now all of a sudden. Arsenal are back in a European position. I mean, it's just like a roller coaster season, isn't it?
Yeah, I think as well. Like Ollie isn't really like you guys are top of the. Like they gave him so much stick. Ollie did. Like he's not really like you guys are top of the league, and he's not really getting much said about him now. I mean,
no, they're not going. Oh well, he's done a great job or anything. It's
I kind of feel like they're waiting for him to slip up again, just to pile on the pressure again. Yeah. It feels like.
Well, there's a danger that obviously the higher the expectations become, the less rope Ollie will get, because I think if they suddenly fall 3 to 6 to 9 points off of the pace, it's desperately unfair because he needs to spend a bit more money. I mean, obviously United have spent a fair chunk of money, but I think he's done a really good job, I have to say. I mean, they're a hell of a lot more stable today than they have been at any time, probably since Alex Ferguson left, in my humble opinion.
I agree with you. And he had the issue of, like, Pogba. He's kind of got Pogba to settle down, it seems. Like, Pogba is not causing as many issues.
I think the real,
the summer, though.
the real issue with Pogba is not Pogba. It's Raiola, isn't it? I mean, it's his manager.
Yeah.
So are you sad to see Özil going?
He's so hit and miss, mate. But it's criminal. I don't know what's going on there, obviously, but it's criminal that we haven't been playing him when we've needed him.
Yeah,
really.
It does feel a bit that way.
Yeah, and I mean, people are losing their jobs at the Emirates, and then he's getting paid to do nothing.
I know. They sacked the mascot, right? How can you sack the bloody mascot? And Ozil decided, I'll pay him. I'll keep him on. Wow. And I mean, do you think do you hang on to Aubameyang at the end of this season?
Yeah, we do, mate. He's way off form, but he's just too good.
Oh, he's too good, but will he stay?
Oh, he's staying. Yeah, I think he stays, mate. Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
Okay, no, that's cool. So it's a really interesting league this year. It does feel like Arsenal are coming back. I think alongside City, they seem to be one of the teams with momentum. So let's see how that rolls on. Are you looking forward to
in
the
the,
Euros?
in the I was just going to say, in the chat, Tom Banks has said, can we not talk about football, please? To which Tomo's replied, they're not. They're discussing Arsenal.
Yeah, I can take that.
I'll tell you what. So Mr. Banks is a Wolves fan, and of course they were turned over by West Brom. West Brom of all teams, 3-2 in this match day. So yeah, he's probably a little bit sore. I have to say, Wolves are a team that promised a lot. They seem to be going through a bit of a difficult time. Would be interested to hear what Mr. Banks has to say about that. He adds, and I don't know if you guys knew this. By the way, Des, did you know there's a pro in the German team? Guys, anyone?
Pro?
A pro?
Pro?
What? Poker player? A poker? Just confirm there. Are we talking about a pro poker player?
All Germans are pros at this game.
Yeah, well, Tomo comes and asks, will the German team have a photographer asking for a friend? So, Lee, I don't know if you recall in your first event. No, it wasn't your first event. We were in Luton. I think it was 2009.
No.
It was 2009, right? Rich
exactly
Baker, final table. Stuart Ward won, in which case it was probably season 3. 2009, I'm going to say. The German photographer, magnificent photographer, magnificent. I'm not sure I can say any more because there'll be a physical record.
Well, you've been working your way through the archives this week because you posted a couple of interesting. I mean, I felt like I should have started the show calling you Desmond, to be perfectly honest, but I thought that was a little bit more appropriate. Because you've been going down memory lane and pulling at the story, the Orange Room story from Vienna. I saw you post up. I saw you post up the animation YouTube videos and a few things.
Classics.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of that stuff on the forum, and of course, over time we redirected traffic away from the forum and to Facebook because it just seemed an easier way to have a conversation with people, and you lose a bit of that. Just a little bit of that community feel. We had a huge community on the forum. We used to do a lot of funny things. And one of the things that we used to do that was a Lee initiative, which kicked off, I think, in 2008, was an advent calendar. So 1st of December, day one, you'd have a character or an event or a story, and people would just come in and laugh at it, right? Day 2 would be a new character, and all of these stories and characters were, of course, from within the APAT community. It was very, very popular. And don't ask me how I happened upon one of those, but I had to read through the 2008 Advent calendar and the 2009 one, which was helpfully linked directly after the 2008 one, and there was just such golden, sort of just funny stuff. It was just easygoing, funny stuff, and I posted a couple of those things up, and quite a nice reaction, I thought. A lot of memories.
I had, it was, great fun putting those together, but God, they were time-consuming putting those things together every year.
Yeah, there's an app for that today, Lee. There's an app for that.
And the trouble is, you start doing these things, and then you kind of go, well, I can't not see this through now, but bloody 24 days. This is going to be
crazy. Listen, Lee, talking about days, right? I want to talk about a countdown. It's one of our favorite topics on the APAT show through lockdown, and it feels like we're coming towards some sort of conclusion, albeit the conclusion might be as long as the story. We'll have to see. But the one Donald Trump will be leaving office on Wednesday. Right, he's going out with some sort of military salute. I'm picturing tanks. I'm picturing sort of vehicles with nuclear bombs and all of that shit just driving through Washington Square, right? Not to the Capitol, right? Probably parking a couple of blocks away from the Capitol. But I'm picturing that as Joe Biden stands on his platform largely alone. Is that a picture you can see in your head, Lee?
It's to be honest, anything could happen, couldn't it? Really,
anything could, and anything is likely to happen. And we shouldn't joke too much. It's very serious.
No, it's potentially. I mean, I don't know. I think I don't know. The part of me thinks that everything that went on at the Capitol in the past 10 days is probably as worse as it's going to get. And I hope it is, because I hope the country settles down, because if nothing else, we all want to get back to being able to go to Las Vegas at some point and play some poker. I don't know about you, Adam, but I'm like, it's and it's kind of I mean, would you want to go to America at the moment in the current state of pandemic plus everything else going on?
Not a chance, mate. It seems like mayhem.
Oh,
And yeah, they seem so far behind in everything, everything in regards to like the pandemic. Sorry, in the pandemic.
And the pandemic, but not just the pandemic, right? Now, I got to thinking about this, right? I got to thinking about this week as we seem to be nearing this natural conclusion, which, might be incredibly violent. It could be musical. It's hard to know what we're going to get this week. But as we near this conclusion, I got to thinking, how are so many people that I know and respect and have time for, how have they gone so batshit crazy, right? And they're just making really bad decisions. And so I thought I'll do a little bit of research. And where better to start than with the crazy guy with the shaman sort of horns jobby, right? So I thought, right, he's got to be an absolute loco. So I'm going to try and learn a little bit about this guy. And then I watched this video that he was in, right? And I got to thinking, he's pretty sensible guy, this. And at the end of it, I was believing some of what he had to say. So you guys tell me, what do you think? Just listen to this guy.
What I do is I practice something known as shamanism. And in shamanism, they sing, they dance, they drum, and they inform the community. They dress up in a way that chases off evil spirits. The singing and the drumming is about chasing off evil spirits because sound actually precedes electromagnetic activity. So when you sing and you drum, especially when you do so really loudly, you end up affecting the quantum realm. And this has been being done for thousands of years to ward off evil spirits, ward off negative timelines, and to basically bring positive energy. So part of the reason why I dress this way is because if we were going to have like a infiltrator or something like that, they'd be a witch, they'd be a sorcerer or something like that on the dark side. So I practice life magic. I practice the light side or the positive side of shamanism. And when they see me, they go, "Oh, yeah, we got a big fish out here. We better not try and stir things up."
He's crazy, boys. Get the ticket.
So I got to thinking, I got to get me some of that light magic shit, right? What the hell? What the hell? How can somebody who sounds so sensible be so batshit crazy?
Well, the funny thing is, okay, so imagine if you hadn't watched the visual of that and you just listened to the guy talking. So you might have actually gone, okay, well, that sounds like he's talking.
This is it.
Okay. What's he talking about? That sounds sort of half sensible. I need to look into this a bit more, what he's talking about. The trouble is, the minute you add the audio to the visual, you go, nutcase. Absolute nutcase.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Do you think it's more believable if he wasn't dressed like that?
I genuinely think it's a little bit more plausible.
It just seems to me, though,
a little bit more plausible.
but it seems to me like there's a lot like him who are not dressed like that. They're dressed in suits. They're dressed in summer dresses. There's like 75 million people who have absolutely bought into the Trump story, and I don't know what percentage of them, I would consider to be El Loco, right? It may be a tiny percentage, but a tiny percentage of 75 million people is a lot of people, and some of those, a lot of them, own guns. So it's just worrying.
Very true.
It's just
very true.
It's just worrying. I have to say.
I was in Vegas at where I was in the bar at the Tropicana in Vegas, and I made the mistake of there was a Trump supporter. This was like 3 years back. A Trump supporter and a Clinton supporter, and I am not joking. I was very scared. I've never seen anything like that. They are so like dedicated to their cause.
They were just discussing. You did, or did you start the conversation, or did they?
Yeah, like I was kind of naive to it. I didn't think it was going to.
You pulled the pin out of that grenade and just let it go. Yeah, basically.
I was ready to run.
There's a lot of passion there, and it's really hard to interject in a very passionate sort of belief, right? That is a real challenge. So let's see how it's going to go. I think there could be fireworks in the next few days, and we'll keep an eye on that. Just back into the chat box, guys. Craig McInnes, I'm with Ian on that one. So Craig is with Ian as far as German photographers are concerned. I think we're all with Ian on that one. Tom Banks talks about VAR. No, not tonight, sir. Clement Hare says, no pro poker player, just a pro football player. So we were only having a laugh with Mr. Banks because, of course, we talked about the pro footballer earlier in the show. We did indeed. We do know that, as Gunther Surinks has confirmed. Peter Bumba is with us. Tom says link above. What is the link to? I can't see.
Oh, that's he sent the link to the Max Cruz thing. So
got it. Michelle says good times indeed. Peter Abomba says go Team Austria. So Österreich in the house.
Peter's in the Austrian team, and his captain is currently just about chip leader with 3 left in the Sunday roller. So we have got 3 players remaining.
I tell you what, we'll finish the chat box and we'll go straight in there, Lee.
Yeah, Nye Venables, Rich King, and Lewis. So we'll catch up with that in a second.
So Tomo says, didn't Stewart knock someone out with the same hand leading up to his win, Lee? That sounds like you, Lee. That sounds like you.
Are we still going there when we both got it in with Ace King and he flushed me on the flop? Just to, it wasn't even. It was done after 3 cards, Adam. It was over, and it was quite deep. So we're both in the money, so it's fairly deep. We're down to 2 tables, and you've got it all in with Ace King. He's got
dream.
You're going, all right, fair enough. We'll just chop that, don't we? We're all grown ups here. We can move on and literally spade, bang.
It's the window card, man. As soon as you see that window card,
you just know it's coming.
Yeah.
Forget the stats. Yeah. It has been written in the stars. Clement says, I think the biggest Hendon mob comes from Team Austria. So Clement, as you would expect from a good German captain, has been looking at the numbers. So the Austrians, maybe they're going to go in as one of the favourites. Michael,
I can let you into a lot of secrets about the team captains. I know that Danny has the English boys currently in a sit and go boot camp.
Has he really?
An unnamed location. He won't say any more than that, but basically he has got them in training pretty much for the next week. So
without doubt at high altitude.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So Mr. Christensen from Canada says Canada has offered to run traffic control for Trump's departure. I believe the Mexicans are actually paying to build the wall. Right, they want to keep the Americans out because it's all going to go crazy. Tom says, didn't realize Jamiroquai was a Yank. That's a good call. That is a good call. He did look like a little bit like Jay from Jamiroquai. Trish says, seriously, what the... Yeah, absolutely. I can't say fuck. I can't say fuck, can I? No, I can't say that.
No, you're not allowed to.
I can't. We can't say that. It's just, there's all sorts of laws. Simon says, Phil Hellmuth, his next World Series of Poker main event entrance costume there. Yeah, I would quite like to see Hellmuth.
So we'll mention that to Phil. Yeah, we can mention that to Phil.
We will mention that. Yeah, that clip. So the clip was popular. Greg Mawson quite liked that. Mr. Christensen, Michael said his Mike, right? Mike. I'm sure Mike and Craig give me what is that stuff you put on bacon? Come on, help me. It starts with an M.
Maple syrup.
That's the one. They presented me with a bottle of maple syrup from Canada. It probably came from
maple
Burnley
syrup is very
somewhere.
expensive.
It was.
Very expensive. Maple syrup.
Very nice bottle of maple syrup. His mommy was also on TV and upset that he wasn't being fed the right food. Are we back to the German footballer here? I'm not quite sure.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I tell you what. Given that we're down to 3, let's put the poker up. Let's give these gents a bit of focus. So Aniran, Lewis, and Richard, the Chocolate King. How are you doing in your events, Adam? You still cracking on?
Yeah, we're still in 2. So we got 56 left in one and 48 in the other.
Nice. Okay. When do you hit the cash in those? All being well?
Yeah, we're deep. So we got 300 locked in one and 77 locked in the other.
Nice. Okay.
It's a couple of sweats, mate.
What's a normal Sunday night for you? Is that are you a lot of events, or how many? What sort of numbers do you do?
Yeah, I used to fire a lot, mate. I just used to reg up everything. But my game selection, like I said, I'm trying to get that much better now. So I'd probably 12 tables on a Sunday, which isn't actually is not a lot for a Sunday really. And I kind of start from 5 p.m. our time and then go through. Yeah.
Cool. Nice going. Clement is saying Manuel Biaske is 560k plus on the Hendon. Who's Manuel playing for? That's not a German name, is it?
I'm desperately trying to bring up the Austrian.
Austrian. Great score.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
We've all got big scores on the Hendon mob, Des, haven't we? I mean, come on, we're all amongst friends.
Yeah, no, I can't say my biggest score recently was that 7-0 against Crystal Palace. Feels like a long time ago. I have to say, a long time ago. A little bit of love for Aniron in the chat box, Simon Lawler. Right. And we haven't talked about Annette in a while either, have we, Lee? I'll tell you what, once Trump is gone, we're going to start talking about Annette Oberstad again. Let's do that.
We'll move on to Annette on a more regular basis. Yeah, definitely. That'll be
Annette's makeup lessons and tours.
Yeah. So three-handed then, Adam. I mean, obviously the guys are fairly even chip stacks here. I mean, is there a way you look to you look to go about this? Obviously, they've all locked up nearly $370, but this is where the big jumps are in any tournament, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think when it gets down to here, like experience is real key. If you got experience in these spots, you just feel a lot more able to kind of take your stand and like kind of try and run over the table a little bit. And you don't know people's situations and stuff in certain tournaments. So the jumps could be obviously very, very, very key to some players. So yeah, in this spot, I would be trying to like open up as much as I can, try and make some dominance on the table.
Yeah, well, these guys certainly, Aniron and Lewis would have played against each other quite regularly in poker squads. We've seen. I think Richard plays quite a lot at Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, very good player.
And a good player. So good to see him playing some of the APAT games as well. So
yeah, really nice guy as well. Richard's a really nice guy.
You know,
so Richard, we're down to 9 in the 8 p.m. game as well. So I'm keeping an eye on that as well.
I was gonna. What we final at 8, do we, Lee? Am I right? 8. Final
yes,
table?
We do.
Yeah. Richard made the final table of our first APAT Irish Championship. I'm going to say 2007. I'm sure he did. I'm sure.
Same Richard?
Yeah.
Richard?
Oh God.
Same
Yeah.
Richard?
Yeah. He was there. I interviewed both him and Donna over in Dublin. That was at the Fitzwilliam, going back quite some time ago. Richard was a big.
I just didn't know there's more than one Richard King. That was all that played.
Yeah. No. Richard was a big EMSer. Eat my stack. Back in the day. That is assuming we are talking about the same Richard, which I think we are.
Okay. Well, I'm sure somebody will confirm that one way or the other. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely. So, so don't forget, guys, if you want to check out the schedule for the Worlds, just go over onto the website. Everything is loaded up on there for you. You'll see all of the tournaments. You'll also see upcoming tournaments in the lobby on there. So you'll see all of the satellites. The information for both leaderboards is on there as well, which will get populated when the events start. And you'll also find the weekly leaderboards on there. So if you look under the rankings, you'll see weekly leaderboards, and that gets updated every night after the 2 tournaments run. Don't even have to wait till the following morning. We do it on the night for you.
Fantastic.
Where was the last Worlds held? Was it Dusk?
No, it was Vienna.
Vienna.
Vienna, was it? Yeah. Okay.
2019 in Vienna, we had 30 bracelet events across I think it was about 10 days. We squeezed all that in. Reworked Flirt was the main event winner from the Netherlands, and the Netherlands won the team event as well. So
nice guy. Very nice guy.
That's the double. And Reart had been playing APA for about 5 years. So, he and a big bunch of players would come over from the Netherlands, but also Belgium, very popular in that area. And they just love the mixed games at the low buy-ins. It was a great investment to come away for a week and play those.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, that's what you want. So you mentioned early on about your Twitch stream. I didn't don't know whether you actually gave out the name of it though. So for anyone that wants to go and look at if you're going to be streaming during the Worlds, what's your Twitch handle these days?
Yeah, Twitch handle. I'll write it in the chat. It's payday. So
payday.
IT5 PAYDAY and then a underscore at the end. I'll write it in the chat. And yeah, we're just going to be playing the events. I'm probably just going to chuck a bounty on my head in some events so people can get a buy into the next event and kind of things like that.
Nice. Good.
And you do some streaming, or have done some streaming with Party as well, yeah?
Yeah, so I was with Party for just over a year, streaming for them, which was a really good experience. And yeah, I was fairly new to streaming then. It's hard to it's all about consistency with streaming, and life can get in the way. So I'm kind of at a stage in my life now where I'm going to have this extra space and can kind of stream probably 4 times a week, which is good.
And what do you make of the guys, the real kind of, high volume streamers that are pretty much on most nights, the kind of Jamie Staples of this world, and I suppose over for some of the other sites as well, you've got the likes of Lex and whatever and Spraggy. I mean, these guys, they make a living out of it, I guess.
Big time, mate. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even know numbers in regards to what they're making, but regarding subs, they're getting kind of 250 subs a month, 300 subs a month at $4.99 each. You get half of that, so it's some big money. You can get some really, really good money through Twitch. And what I don't always understand is I don't think it brings in new players. Like, I don't actually think Twitch poker brings in new players. I feel like it's just very heavily based in people that already play. And I think sites just want to be able to kind of invest into that market where they can try and get their site just being seen as much as possible. It's very hard. Nobody's going to beat Lex. Lex is just the king. Nobody beats his viewership.
What do you think makes a Twitch streamer, watchable? Because a lot of the time you can flick on the stream and they've got a bunch of tables up and they're in the corner and they're chatting about the poker or whatever. What is it that makes somebody different from the hundreds of others that are out there?
I think you just have to be so, especially if you're like starting off, you have to be very interactive with your chat. It's very important to do that. And I think I stay around in chats if the streamer is interacting with your comments when you post them. I think as well, like, people go for different things. Like my music, I'm very heavily into like rap and hip hop. So that may cut off a certain age limit on my streams at times. And yeah, my music may not always be of people's taste, but so I've kind of tried to change that a little bit. And just try and just interact as much as possible. And some people are there for the banter, some people are there for real good knowledge, and then some people just have it up on the side while they're grinding and just have something to look at, basically.
Of course, it does help, I guess, if you're a musician, because I know a lot of the Twitch streamers had lots of problems about playing music in the background and the licensing for all that. You can just play all your stuff and go, well, I own this, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. I did try and get the poker streamers I said, look, this music, I'm giving you permission, just use it.
Yeah. I think we should give that other exclusive that we were talking about. Lee and I will be singing every night on the WCOAP stream just to avoid those copyright laws, which, to be honest, we flout very often anyway, don't we, Lee? Well, I do. You won't take responsibility for that. But yeah, we'll be singing. So that's something else to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's very difficult. I mean, there's so much content out there these days when it comes to using people's kind of assets or whatever. And I mean, I think most of the platforms are pretty cool about it. They just kind of they'll give you a message to say we've done this or we've done that or whatever it might be, and it's kind of like, okay, cool. Everyone gets on with it. I mean, it's just frightening the amount of video content that is now out on the internet, the numbers of what gets uploaded to YouTube, every minute or whatever. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually speaking to Jamie one time, and he actually said through his YouTube, he has people come up to his YouTube, up to him in real life, who's never seen his stream, and they've never seen his stream, but they've only seen his YouTube stuff, and I couldn't get my head around that because I'd imagine that they would automatically go to their Twitch, but some different platforms are for different people. And yeah, I mean, these different avenues of poker content are so massive these days, and you've got so many good players putting stuff out as well. It's really good. Yeah.
So in the Sunday roller, we've lost Lewis, Austrian captain, in third place. He picks up $367, which means we are heads up. Nye Venables against Rich King. Nye's got a nice chip lead here, and already the first pot of this heads up it's got just over 500,000 in it, and Richard takes that one down. But yeah, Nye's got what 2.5 to 1 chip lead, maybe a little bit more. So let's see what happens here.
Nice little payday for both of the boys here with WCOAP coming up, Lee, as you said earlier.
Yeah, well, I know Nye was planning on playing. Funnily enough, he messaged me the other day and he said he was planning on playing a lot of the mini events and pretty much keeping within his bankroll because he's had a tough old time lately with stuff. So that's what he was planning to do. But I guess maybe a cash here, and he might decide he might give a couple of the main series ones a go as well, which would be nice for him if he can do that, because he's currently on lockdown at home, unfortunately. So as we all are, but
I think
some it's a bit more tricky for others, because I know Nye is living at home, so it's a difficult one. So.
I'm thinking I'd stick with the minis, Lee. Right, I'd stick with the minis plan, and then I'd have an incredibly large blowout on Deliveroo. That's the way I'd do it. I'm talking a big one. I'm talking an all-nighter on Deliveroo.
Love it.
To be honest, I think last time you spoke to me about Deliveroo, you were just complaining about the delivery charges unless you order loads. I think that was your...
Look, if you've just come first or second in a poker tourney, we don't worry about delivery charges, right? We live big that day. That's the only rule I have, which, to be honest, I've never exercised. The rule, that is. I've exercised occasionally, right?
Obviously, yeah, nothing wrong with the way. If you can take down one of the big ones in the worlds, I mean, we've got a couple. The main event there is $150,000 guarantee, and we've got a couple of 100K guarantees in there as well. I mean, that's going to be a nice 5-figure score for somebody from a very small buy-in, and obviously you can satellite in even cheaper as well. And it's all about leveling the playing field. So it's this is targeted at amateur poker players. So very much we're asking pro players just to step away from this and allow the amateur players to play this. It's all real name tournaments. Everything's a freeze out, so it's one bullet only. So you really need to make your most of each one. It's one tournament per night in the main series, and obviously the mini as well. So we're not bombarding with lots of tournaments here. So you can really focus in on what you want to play, but nicely structured, sensible finish times. 7:15 start every night. Day ones will finish around 1 o'clock in the morning, and then if you make it through to day 2, where you should already be in the money just about, then you'll be back again for another sort of 4 or 5 hours to play to a finish. So it's ideal for amateur players, for players who've got other commitments as well, whether it be work or family, or just even just a fix on their bankroll or whatever. That's what it's all aimed for. So should be something for everybody.
Nicely structured, Lee. And tell me, just remind me, because the 750K that's guaranteed, how much of that do we take out? How much of the 750K?
Yeah, so we don't take any of it out.
We don't take any of it. We don't take any of the money.
No, we
don't take any of the money.
We just add extra prizes into it.
That's a unique way to approach this. We put the money in.
Yeah. It's a business model that sort of worked for us for the last 15 years.
I got to talk to Sean about this. She thinks we take the money out.
We just give.
We don't take any of the money out.
We just keep giving everything back to the players. Often in the shape of bling, but often in the shape of tickets. But that's
Gaz Howard, are you watching? Wow,
and that's all over. Wow, how about that? That was short and sweet. Nye's taking it down. They got it all in with Ace King versus Pocket Eights of Richard King, and Ace on the river for Nye. King on the turn just for good measure, which means Richard was looking for an 8 and only an 8 on the river. He wasn't going to get it. So Nye Venables picks up $721.08. Very well done to him. Very well played to Richard King as well, finishing his second for $515. And we mentioned Lewis Tabib as well in third for $367. Well done to all three of you guys and everybody else that cashed. And there was a huge long list of players that cashed in that tonight. 16 people in total. So very well done to all of those.
Fantastic. Well done, players. Delighted for an iron, though. I've got to say he's had a rough run over the last week or two, and it's nice to see I'm getting a little bit of good fortune there tonight. So enjoy that win, my friend.
Absolutely. And what I can confirm on the back of that, we have a winner of the 7 p.m. leaderboard for the week, and that is Shane Pollington, Shane, you are picking up a main event WCOAP $109 buy-in ticket. Very well done to you. It gets better for Nye Venables. Not only has he won the roller tonight, he's now finished second on the leaderboard. $55 ticket on the way to you, Nye. And third place, Neville Harrington. He's going to be picking up a ticket as well. And let's go for this. Let's do the top 20. I'm just going to rattle them down for you so you know who they are. Alan Sheridan, Marion Gurry, Richard King, Yanni Curacao, Lee Pollard, David Clark, Ben Bundy, Frank Bailey, Peter Monroe, Lewis Tabib, Andy Heath, Martin Hadfield, Brendan Byrne, Christophe Savet, Jan Dusak, Dean Corrigan, and Jack Veal. You are all going to pick up a ticket of one value or another. We will get those sorted out with Party Poker next week for you so they're in your account ready to rumble. Well done to all of you.
Well done.
Nice stuff. Are you seeing the stream, gents?
Yes, we have a final table of the 8 p.m. deep stack up and going now.
That's what I am seeing. I have to say I'm not seeing it on the site.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on the
that's perfect.
on Facebook. Yeah, so that's
fine.
no problem. Let me give you a quick rundown of who we've got left on this final table. And we will be good to go. 7 players left. So Leopoldo Perez has already busted in 8th place. So yeah, we mentioned him final tabling and ended. Actually, he was short stack of the 7 that were left on the Sunday roller. Paul Rogers actually ended up finishing 5th for $191. Well, he's now 7th on the final table of this and short stack in this as well. Let's see if he can improve on his spin up to 5th place on this final table. I've got my work cut out here with the currently in 6th place player. Right, we're going to call him Nicholas. We're going to go with that. I think that's unless Adam wants to have a go at his surname, which you're more than welcome to go for if you want to. I will have a go at it in a minute. But Andrew Bayliss is on this final table as well.
I think I'm going with. Did that come? Well, I think that was accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from the Republic of Georgia. He's from the Republic of Georgia anyway. So Andrew Bayliss as well, Dylan Patel, Daniel Smith, Brent Fettley, and currently chip leader, a well-known player to APAT, Adam Phelan. So good luck to you guys.
Lads.
Let's see who's going to take this one down. $164 up top for this one.
Great turnout, guys, for these events. Like really good.
It's really, really good. I think I say we had a lot of fun with the Poker Squads leaderboards. I think you played a couple of weeks of in one of the teams on those. I think back in one of the weeks. And we were unsure what was going to happen when we switched these to individual leaderboards. And I know we've got a lot of excitement around the worlds as well. But I think it's great that say 143 turned up to play the deep stack tonight. It's nice, and it's we're talking 4 or 5 hours poker on a Sunday night, $5 buy-in, 160 odd up top. Yep. It's sensible, isn't it? And as you say, Adam, poker should be fun. It should be enjoyable. I think the minute it becomes anything more than that, even as the pro players or maybe the kind of more semi-pro players that play a bit more regularly will say, the minute it becomes a grind and it's not, and you're just having to do it because you feel you need to, or you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then, aren't you?
Oh, definitely, mate. Definitely. Would you say that like the lockdown has helped keep like the spirit and community side of things going with APAT? Because it's obviously really good to keep the squads going and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the feedback we've had from people has been incredible. I mean, I think the APAT show has probably done Des and me as much good as it has anybody else. It's given us some focus on what we can do. But we've had some truly, one lovely messages from people, just that it's kind of it's very much given them something on a Sunday night to kind of tune into and hear some voices and get involved in and and be a part of. And it's very difficult when you're not seeing people, Adam. I mean, what do? You're a community. You're used to seeing people, gathering for a live event. Maybe probably APAT, we were probably running an event pretty much one a month, maybe one every 6 weeks, something like that during a normal year where you'd, a couple of hundred people would gather at a venue and you'd all be sat having a beer. I was chatting to Richard Rudling Smith, the Welsh captain, yesterday, and he said it's so great to to hear you guys on the show on a Sunday night, it's like that. I'd be chatting with you at a bar, having a beer after the day's play or whatever. And so to be able to do this, I guess it kind of works. And it's important, I think, for people's well-being, just to the fact that they can do that and chat and also I think it's brought new people into APAT, and it's allowed people. Poker Squad certainly allowed people to that they'd never met before to go, well, let's get in a squad together. Let's and so they've now become kind of virtual friends and are looking forward to the day where they can meet up at a poker tournament and actually go, oh great, nice to finally meet you, kind of thing.
If you look at Party Poker, Adam, right, where APAT now has its own tab, it's got its own branded tables and all that good stuff. I mean, we've had over 7,000 players play APAT events. Lee, we've had 30,000 entries into Poker Squads.
Poker Squads just tipped 30,000 in the last week.
Yeah. I mean, in a world where poker sites value retaining players as much as they do acquiring new players, to have a community like APAT and there are numerous communities like us around. It's a good thing. It's very healthy for the site, and they want to work with the players. They want to put up the big guarantees and stuff. So yeah, I think the lockdown has been great for online poker, and I think communities have done well in it because people have needed to reach out, right? They've needed to want to have a bit of that community feel.
Yep, 100%. I think, I think it's going to be. It wouldn't be surprising how much these kind of games weekly and daily for the squad stuff and that have helped people. To be honest, I've seen people regularly posting about the squad stuff. It just is really, really good to see and gets everybody together again.
Yeah. And, small stakes, Adam, right? So we don't want to stretch anyone's wallets. And arguably WCOAP isn't small stakes. And of course, that's a premium APAT sort of festival. But, there were a lot of discussions around what should the price point be for squads games, for example. And we thought $5 was about right. So a little bit of a prize pool to reward players who've done well. But at the same stage, we didn't want money to be a barrier to players taking part. Right, because there's so much other stuff going on as well, and wallets are tight. They're a lot tighter at the moment than they have been at times in the past, I suspect. But just to keep that community spirit sort of going, and the players have been great. They've rewarded us by coming back time and time again. What more could we want, right?
Spot on, mate. I mean, the days that I were playing the squad events, it's kind of nice to see, obviously, because it's your name. It's nice to see people that also sitting at the table. I know we're completely miles apart and stuff like that, but I don't know. I find it kind of cool. Like, oh, Pete Wigglesworth is there, being a nit. And
no, he plays 5-3 offsuit out of position. That's what I heard. Did you hear that, Lee?
Yeah, I heard that rumor. Yeah. If you've not yet seen and you've got a spare 90 minutes in your life, Des, Pete's posted up today. He did a poker interview, talking chat about poker, which is up on YouTube. I think it's episode 6 of the series that one of his contacts has done, and he's posted the link up, and it's well
cool.
worth
Nice.
You get the kind of it feels like you get the inner Pete Wigglesworth, but he's literally sat there chatting to camera. It's quite a cool video. So
I guess that's the one thing that we haven't sort of mentioned. A lot of the APAT shows, pretty much 99% of the APAT shows have a guests on, who are definitely coming from within the community. So you get to know people in a way that you haven't known them before, because we tend to ask all of the questions. So I would definitely want to do that. And I don't know if any of you guys out there have seen it or not, but a guy called, I think it's Nick Oakley, put a post up. He was very nice. He came to me, said, "Can I put this thing up?" And I said, totally fine. There's no links in there that I don't like. We don't like, so you go for it. And it was a podcast that he did with Dara O'Kearney. which is part of a series that he's doing, being a beginner poker player from, fish to final table, that sort of thing. And I listened to this 45-minute podcast. It was up on the site a couple of days ago, and absolutely phenomenal insight from Darragh O'Kearney on sit and go play, strategy, why you do it. It was really, really interesting. So there's a lot of good stuff out there. It's just about finding it. But I would certainly go and watch that Pete Wigglesworth video, because Pete brought a lot of value in the couple of shows that he did. He had some really interesting thoughts on how to play sort of Omaha tables and stuff like that. It was really, really interesting, I thought. So who's your pick here, Lee? Who's your money on? Are you going for Adam? You going with the chips, Brent?
Yeah, I was just trying to have a look and see who's whether anybody's picked up any points so far in this. I think the only one at this the last 5 here who's actually picked up points so far in the leaderboard this week is Paul Rogers, actually.
Okay.
He was currently 16th in the leaderboard. So actually, he's got the ability to possibly top the leaderboard. Let's have a look. Yeah, he'd need to win it, but if he won it, he would top the weekly leaderboard.
You have absolutely lucked out with another drama, haven't you?
Always going to happen. I mean, come on.
How do you do it?
It was never in doubt. So Paul Rogers is my pick, because I'd love to see Paul win this and top the leaderboard for the week. That would be a superb run. And he final tabled the other one tonight. So Paul is my pick, which probably just absolutely put kiss of death on him actually doing anything. He'll bust in 5th. But anyway, that's who I'm going to go for. So the guys, it's 5-2. So the guys are on another break now.
That's cool.
Well,
that's cool. Well, we'll wait and see how that goes along. I don't know if everybody saw this, Lee. We played this right at the start of the show in place of the Poker Squads promo, right? Which has gone. It's been laid to rest, I sadly say. But let me just replay this little sort of promo piece from Party Poker that shows Rupert Flair, our main event champion from last year. Just a few words from him.
It's always a pleasure to come to this festival, and because the first time was 5 years back in London, and by accident I saw it on Handelmob, and I saw that they have very much different games for low stakes. So, and I'm from Holland, so I'm only used to play No Limit Hold'em and sometimes PLO. So that was my chance for a low roller to play those events for those cheap buy-ins. So that's the first time I came in contact with APAT.
I'll tell you what, Lee, the Dutch guys know how to party, do they not?
Oh, absolutely. They had a good time in Vienna. I mean, lots of success as well. Actually, Rewert picked up, so he won the main event, but he also won another bracelet event that week as well. And actually, so you'd have thought, oh, well, that's a shoo-in. He must have won Player of the Series. No, he didn't. He didn't actually didn't win Player of the Series, having won 2 bracelets.
Who did we fix that for?
Who did we didn't fix it for anything? I think it ended up. I think Dory actually ended up.
Okay.
Had a great. She had a great week. Cashed in loads of events. I think she cashed in enough events to cover any of Gabrielle's losses at the cash tables that week. So that was all okay.
Have we found her since? I'm here all week, sure. Carl, are you still there? Are you taking notes? I just wouldn't let your ink run out on these, I have to say. Oh, there we go. It's the last break of the night, lads. 2 minutes left. So tell me, Adam, what are you watching on the box these days? Do you have any time for the Netflix? Are you set down with Charlie's, the stuff you're following, or what captures your attention?
Yeah, I'm very much. I'm into crime stuff, mate. So I like the real life crime stuff, all the sort of detective stuff, and I'll be watching that. And then Only Fools and Horses, mate. I watch a lot of Only Fools and Horses.
This time next year, Adam. This time next year, mate.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I say it often.
This time next week, Gaz. This time next week.
So with the crime stuff, then is it the is it so it's the true story stuff that they then delve into and all that kind of thing?
Did you see that Making a Murderer?
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with. Is that
fantastic? Loved it.
Yeah, I got through the first. I did like it, but then I heard so many different.
I know
it was one of the things that it came out and everybody started talking about it, and it kind of put me off. Weirdly, it put me off for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it put me off.
Yeah, it's very easy to get lost in these things, particularly on Netflix. If they become quite big series, everybody starts to talk about them, and you people research what actually happened and stuff, and it's just bombarded with stuff. Believe it or not, I haven't yet seen what was it, the Tiger King? Is it the Tiger King?
Yeah, I've not seen it.
Haven't seen it. It was a big thing though, right? It was big news a little while ago.
Yeah, it was kind of one of them ones again. People spoke about it, and it just put me
you off a bit. Too commercial.
It must have been big. It was a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire tonight, so that's how big it must have got to. So
wow, okay.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got Wiggy. We've got Wiggy in the chat box. Peter Wigglesworth. Cheers, guys, for the mention.
We knew if we put the old fishing line out there with a little bit of bait on it, we'd soon reel him into comments.
We hooked a fish. We have hooked a fish. Here he comes, guys. Cheers, guys, for the mention. Rene, who shot the video, has agreed to put a link to the APAT site from his Live Like Kings. Live Like Kings. Live Like Kings. Live like kings. Thank you for the link, Pete. I'm afraid I murdered your comment there. Andreas said Riart, and it was indeed Andres, who is playing for Holland next week as well. Good luck in that. Helped us out a bit with some PR in the Netherlands last week, Andreas. So we really appreciated that. Peter also said, absolutely love Adam. Great guy. We once had an argument over poker, but I'm sure he would feel left out if he didn't. Okay. Adam was part of Blue Blood when I was with the team. Was very keen to learn and improve. Guy is a legend, and we're all impressed with his progress and success. Well said. Emmett Davis has joined late, so welcome to the show, Emmett. And James Burr is also watching with us, so I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday evening playing poker.
I was half expecting a whole list of questions from Di Farrell tonight. I think she's let you off very, very gently here, to be honest. Normally she's like really probing questions that she wants us to put to the guests. So
I'll put her on block, mate, just in case.
you got away with one, I think, there, to be honest.
I love Di.
Di's good. Di is good. We've tried for about half a year to get her on, right?
We've been trying to get Di on the show. The only way we could get Di on the show is we did some extended Turbo Millionaire, Who Wants a Millionaire quiz things before on the Christmas show. So we just we called her up. She put Turbo in the. So we're right. We're phoning the States. So off we went.
It's brilliant. It went.
We blew the entire budget on a transatlantic telephone call. It was well worth it.
She's a diamond.
She's brilliant. Absolutely. And gutted because obviously she'd all planned to be heading back over for the Worlds live, and of course, a lot of people had made plans, and 2020's kind of sort of screwed all that up for everybody. But hopefully, we'll get back together at some point soon.
We are going to do that. Andreas has come back in the chat box. Absolutely no problem, mates, for the PR. Hope to keep the title in the Netherlands. Again, want that second bracelet. Quite right. And Paul Rogers, who's on the final table here, we've been talking about you this evening, Paul, is now watching and playing. So good luck with your short stack. You have been the pick of one Mr. Wiltshire.
Good luck, Paul. Good luck, mate.
Which I apologise for in advance.
He apologises in advance.
It's back now. So tell me, is there anywhere else, any other form of life where bocking is a thing, or is it just poker? Where bocking is a thing?
I've got an incredibly horrible story regarding a. So me and I don't know if you know Gavin Manley, the Hat. They call him the Hat, Gavin Manley. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We was in a syndicate for some weekly football tips that we've been following for 2 months, literally religiously, all putting money in, putting the accumulator on every week. And then I was in charge of putting it on. We got this accumulator through of both teams to score and win. And it was, I mean, you know where this is going, but yeah, it was 12,500 to 1, this accumulator. And we've been putting it on. Me and Gav have been putting a tenner on each, and then one of the other lads were putting on £20 a week. And I posted it in the group, and basically I posted it in the group, and I said, "Look, this is a joke. We're just wasting money here." Anyway, yeah, this syndicate ended up doing it, so I missed out on 100. So it was the photo bot. It was the 1 week where I just decided, look, I'm just going to put the picture in the group and let us decide, and the bot happened. 120k I missed out on.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
So how are the guys anyway? Do you see them around at all these days? No.
Gav doesn't let me live that one down.
So it wasn't so much that you didn't put the bet on. You'd all decided enough's enough. We're not going to do it anymore. And then the following week, the tip came in, basically.
It was the morning. I posted it on the Saturday morning, so it was on the same day. Yeah, I posted it in. It was, I don't know, 10:30 in the morning or something. Posted the picture, and I said, "Lads, I'm not going to bother this week. This is just a joke." And then
So what? So it was what? So it was something about. So it's what? So about 12,000 to what? I mean, how many matches was it? So what,
it was like 7, both teams to score and win.
Okay, so picking the winner and both teams to score, which is not an easy bet. That's actually.
Yeah, and it was stupid teams. I think it was probably Liverpool beating Crystal Palace or something. It was just stupid, mate.
Stupid. You say stupid, it's not stupid at all.
Yeah.
I'd have taken my money out, and I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it was just sickening.
Oh wow, that's just it's like that thing of if you've been playing the same lottery numbers for years and years and years, and you just go, well, I don't really win this, and enough of this. But it's that thing of, can you ever, if you've been playing, how do you go, right, enough's enough?
Listen, guys, you know nothing. I don't know if you read the story this week about the guy who was paid for certain jobs that he did quite some time ago in Bitcoin. And so he's got like about $200 million of Bitcoin, and he's used up 8 out of 10 password attempts on his goddamn computer, and there's nothing he can do about it. So when he eventually clicks in the 10th password, and I don't think this is just a password, right? It's a key or something. When he clicks in the 10th one and gets it wrong, which he will, the 200 million disappears.
Oh my God. How could you sleep? I don't think you could sleep at night, surely.
I mean, you'd feel like Gaz Howard, right? With that additional silver that keeps coming your way every year. So
you think when I comment on Bitcoin and just how the whole thing's just completely bonkers, that story just sums up why I think the whole Bitcoin thing is completely bonkers.
Listen,
that can be a thing that can happen.
Yeah, listen, I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, but I was sat with Sean a little earlier on, and she said to me, "Hey, have you heard the story?"
Hang on. How have you gone from old wife to Sean? I mean, that's a little bit extreme.
Old wife, because you know how stuff. So you can get one story, and by the time it does the rounds and comes back to you, it's a completely different story. So she said to me earlier on, she said, "Did you hear about the guy who lost the 200 million in Bitcoin?" And I went, "Oh yeah, I was reading about that. It's absolutely insane." She said, "Yeah, it's buried in landfill." And I said, "What? It's buried in... No," I said, "he can't remember his password." And she went, "Is that the guy that's offered 55 million to the council to dig it out of the landfill?" And I said, I don't think so. Is this a different story?" She said, "Yeah, there's a guy who had a computer like 10 years ago, and he's dumped the hard drive, and apparently it's got 10 years worth of landfill on top of it, and he's offered the council 55 million. So he knows the password. He just can't find his goddamn hard drive."
Tom Banks has just posted that exact... Well, Tom Banks just posted that exact thing up before he will have heard you say that. So basically,
you are shitting me. That is insane.
Tom Banks just said, "Isn't it on a hard drive buried in a council tip? He offered them 55 million to dig it up." So
that's the one. Be a story, right? So he's probably nonchalantly called up the council, right? Customer services. "Hello, customer services. How'd you like to make 55 million? And he's probably been put on hold, because I'd put him on hold for that sort of, I mean, they probably think he's the shaman guy. right? The guy with the horns. Who's going to make that call? But yeah, they won't do it.
But it's a case of it's a case of these things are stuck on your computer in however it is you're doing what you're doing. I mean, this is the frightening thing about it is
scary.
I don't know. It's one of the first things that genuinely makes me feel a little bit old, like I'm completely out of touch with what's going on in the world, because I don't completely get it. And I consider myself a fairly, reasonably well-educated, financially sound person. And I'm just like, I just don't get this. It's just insane.
I find it really funny because there's so many poker, like Bitcoin's really big in the poker community, but so everybody's been banging on, like, oh, we're flying. And then over the past couple of days, a slight dip, and you kind of then realize who hasn't really got a clue what their money's doing, because they're all like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like, it's crazy.
Well, when you get when you get Rob Young posting up on Twitter going, what do you guys think Bitcoin's going to do in the next 12 months? Like, what? It's like really? That's your way of finding out. I think it might have been Daniel Negreanu that came back and said, why are you asking these? And Rob's view was, well, these guys probably know better than most.
Yeah.
That's quite scary. It really is.
I don't think anybody knows. That's the uncertainty. But, if you'd bought a few Bitcoin back in the day, right? Well, frankly, if it was buried in landfill, difficult. Very difficult.
Get the spade out. It's worth it.
I mean, can you imagine the guys at the council?
It's that old adage of, like back in the day, we'd have had somebody who's like, well, yeah, I didn't trust the banks with my money, so put it in a suitcase and buried it somewhere and just forgot where that was, right. Kind of thing. That's right. I've got these really old £50 notes somewhere, buried away that I don't know about.
Yeah. But I guess you must always feel like if you've done that, you at least know where it is, or you've always got a chance to get it back, right? But if you've clicked in 8 out of 10 password attempts into your computer, and there's nobody that can help you to, decrypt it, I mean, what must that feel like? 200 million.
Well, I think I can probably equate. I mean, I'm just thinking back to, I think it was a couple of months ago where I found an old £20 note in my wallet because I've not used cash for most of the year, and I thought, I think they've changed to those new plastic ones. Am I done for 20 quid? So I can kind of understand where what the guy might be feeling, really.
I'm hearing you. The only thing that I
genuinely did have a panic. I genuinely did have like, have they changed the plastic? I've not even seen the plastic ones, but I don't know. 2020 is kind of like been a bit of a crazy year.
But Lee, this is 20 quid that you didn't even know about, right? It didn't exist until you found it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
Who even uses cash? I mean, what is? I mean, it's not even,
I wish I had it. I wish I had cash, Lee. We don't get any money out of the prize pool. We get no money at all out of the 7. Not even 10%. Holy.
To be honest. We can't even have, so it's not up on screen at the moment, but when you've got your other screen up, you've got 750,000, and the reality is
look at that. It's a bit,
they're all in. Oh, Adam with a big chip lead needs to hit an ace or a king to knock Paul out, or Paul's going to double up, and Paul is going to double up. There you go. Nice one, Paul. See?
He was in the chat box a few minutes ago and he said, I had another final table there. We've been covering it, Paul. We've been covering all of your action tonight.
It's all good. Nice. So what I was going to say, Des, is you've been advertised. There we go. You've been advertising the 750,000, and it's actually more than that.
What?
You've just gone for the round it down headline number, but actually the guarantees, if you add them all up, is a little bit more than that. So I mean, we could have probably got away with that.
Can we get a piece of the money over to 750?
Our margin. Yeah, it's just our
get half of that. If we get half of that alone, that's a carpet, right? In the back of the Ferrari. It's a carpet. It's a nice carpet. Fitted. None of that sort of non-fitted muck. I don't want a carpet that moves. No. When you get into your car, I don't want a carpet that moves. I want a car that moves. Right.
You'll be fine. So thumbs up from Paul Rogers in the chat. Yeah, the guy's on the roll now. Is he going to call Daniels all in? He does. Oh. It's aces for Paul.
Sweet.
Daniel's got 10s. He's going to need to avoid the only 10, which isn't a heart, which would save him. Wow. And he doesn't
Paul's
get
on
there.
Fire.
So Daniel is going to finish in 4th place. And
Unlucky
Paul
Daniel
now becomes chip leader. I told you, see, you get the old Wilshire non-bocking dollars behind you, and it's all good stuff. Yeah. we're pretty much, we might as just well write this down as a result now. Paul Rogers is winning this tournament.
Oh no, don't double buck him. The double buck is the worst.
So happening.
That is a
So
thing.
happening.
Listen, Warren Brooks, he's just thrown petrol on the fire. He said, didn't Lily Allen turn down something like 100,000 Bitcoin for a gig years ago? Really?
Should be the richest person in the world.
Wow. Could be though.
What would that be? I have no idea what that would even be worth. Now, this is where I don't really kind of, get my head around it. What is that?
That's Bill
that
Perkins
worth a
levels
lot?
of money. That is 100,000 Bitcoin. That's
The only person we can ask about that. I mean, is that a lot? I mean, I don't even know how much is Bill Perkins worth. I mean, he's no idea.
We discussed it. He says he's not a billionaire, but I mean, what's the
Is he close then? Yeah.
Yeah. But he says he's not a billionaire, but
I think we should get him on the show, Lee. Get him on the show.
Genuinely, I don't actually know where did Bill's money come from? I'm assuming
hedge funding.
hedge funding. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the most generous
nice
people.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Insanely nice guy. I mean, there's a little story when we was out there. We had a big hurricane when we was out there. Sort of 140 mile an hour winds, 150 mile an hour winds, and it was really bashing the side of the Bahamas, I think it was at the time. This was just last year, 2019. And his assistant come into our house. He was like, "Oh, what's up? How you doing?" She was like, "Oh, I'm stressed. Bill's got me trying to buy these 7 helicopters to fly aid into the Bahamas." So
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So he does do it. He's a top guy.
No, fair enough. I thought he was going to say he's trying to buy you all a helicopter. And she's like, I'm having a nightmare.
I want a helicopter
to get you
too,
all
Lee.
a helicopter. Yeah.
I want a helicopter. I want a helicopter. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's quite weird, isn't it? It's because when obviously Bill has got heavily involved in the whole Doug Polk and Negreanu heads-up game, and if that feels like a heads-up game where there's more money being bet on the result of the game than actually either player will actually make in the actual game itself, and that again is another thing which kind of just makes me go, what's that all about? Wow, what a river there for Paul Rogers. Gets the clubs, and we are heads up. Andrew Bayliss finishes in 3rd place, and Paul Rogers is he's on a roll. He is on a roll here.
I'll tell you what, Lee, ever since you called him.
Firing out again. He's firing out again. Yeah.
Relentless.
This is the way to do this, though, I guess, though, Adam, when it's just going well for you and you've got momentum. You just keep firing it out there, don't you?
I'll tell you what, he's running like a binman with a hard drive.
Oh dear, I do. I like that. We need to get a T-shirt stood up with that. That's brilliant.
Adam's got to be saying, what the hell has happened here? This guy was the short stack. I was meant to be not playing him at any point in the game, and look at him now. He's heads up.
Yeah, at 7-handed, Adam Phelan was the chip leader, and Paul Rogers was the short stack. So what a great turnaround.
Did Paul front Queen, or have I got that wrong? Was the name of the guy that fronted
Rogers.
Queen? Was it Paul Rogers?
Well, it's funny because actually my connection was when you posted up the picture of Adam earlier on. I did for a split second think, is that not Adam Lambert that's fronting Queen at the moment? You know,
he's a good-looking lad. I'll take that.
yeah. I did do a double take of, is that not Adam Lambert's fronting? But Paul Rogers did also did some lead singing with Brian May and Roger Taylor. Probably about maybe 10 years ago now, I think. Something like that.
But not our Paul, right? Not our Paul.
No. Paul Rogers. I'm trying to think what the band it was he was lead singer of. Tom Banks.
Yeah, I remember that. They were good. They were good, right? They were a decent
Yeah.
band. I can't remember what they were called, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Rogers says, yep, although it was Rogers with a D. So,
there we go. There we go. I watched that documentary, Adam Lambert with Queen. That was a pretty good.
Yes, it's good, isn't it?
Documentary.
Yeah, it's really good. So he won, or he might have been. Was he runner-up in America's?
American Idol or something
like that. Yeah, very talented guy, but had a lot of issues with confidence and stuff early on, and the trouble is, it's very difficult when you get starting to deal with the guys from Queen and they want to work with you. You kind of, if that doesn't do your confidence any good. I don't know quite whatever will, but Tom Banks says it's free. Yeah, okay, well, okay, so we don't have to pay for it, Tom. So what's the answer? Yeah.
Listen, Tom, you know everything. Do you know a man who'd be willing to drill into landfill, right? Because I know this guy from Brighton who's got one of those metal detectors, right? It's a really small metal detector. That's why we need the drilling equipment. But if you know a guy, just put us in touch. There's 2 million in it for you.
Well, it's very Who Wants a Millionaire coughing. Yeah, I like it. But Adam's holding his own here, isn't he? He's not. He's, although Paul's added to his stack since they've started this heads up. Yeah, Adam's not going to give up lightly. That's for sure.
Adam's a Black Country Poker Club player, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
I haven't met that. Yeah. So he'll be good. He is a good player, right? He's a good player.
No, he is very, very good player. I think Brian Yates speaks very highly of his game.
In caps.
And
you haven't mistaken caps. You haven't mistaken caps for talking highly, have you?
No, it's always got caps lock on, but yeah, it does speak very highly of him. I saw Brian posted up when Danny announced the England team. Very proud of Gaz being another Black Country Poker Club player that's made it into Team England. So he was very, very proud of him.
It's good to
do that.
It's good to see. How are you doing?
I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased for Gaz actually, because when we had him on the show,
spoke wasn't he?
So well about the game in general, really knowledgeable.
And it isn't the easiest thing to do. If you haven't done the whole streaming business before, it's not that easy to early on in this series to come on and talk to the APAT players about your poker and stuff. But he did superbly well. He was a bit nervous.
Yeah, really held his own and was very good. And I'm really pleased that he's getting a shot at the England team. Yeah. So good luck to him, genuinely.
Listen, I want Adam, how are you getting on your tourney? Still progressing in 2?
I got 2 horrendous beats, mate. Unfortunately,
no, dude. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we won't bore you. I got 2 out of them, both of them, for probably final table stacks with about 20. That was like 24 left. So.
Well,
in each.
Unlucky, my friend, but we'd love you to have you on another time to hopefully go a table or 2 further along. It has been good to have you on. Mr. Venables is coming back. Changing subject. Which team did you finally decide is going to win the team champs next week? It's impossible to call. Impossible to call. One thing is almost certain, though. It'll go down to the final few, deals of the deck. It almost always does, and we look forward to following that next Sunday evening. Play starting on Saturday there, of course. But Tom says, Paul Rogers was with Queen for 5 years. He was also with Bad Company. I thought he was with another. I'm going to say well-known. That's probably really unfair on Bad Company. But alas, there you go. Tom doesn't get these things wrong. So I'm sure that was his other big credit. And Iron says, and Des Duffy, although I was 10th overall in Poker Squads, I was not the best on averages. The 4 players chosen in all fairness at a higher average. So totally get Rudder's choices. Lots of thumbs up there. Supportive of the national team. I like that. Well done.
It's quite a
character there.
It's really weird. The Welsh selection. I mean, obviously Wales have got a good record in the team events that we've put on previously anyway. But they've just got a ridiculous number of players that play at such a consistent level. To say, when I was talking to Richard yesterday, he to be fair to him, he's gone through all the stats. I sent him over the Poker Squad stats, and he was using those to work things out. But he was then talking about players' ROIs on Shark Scope and all this kind of thing, and he was quoting some of the stats of the likes of Dan Houston and Dylan Herbert, who play regularly across a number of sites, and those guys are really consistent.
Great
players,
great
cashing players. Really, it's and they choose to play APAT as well, and they only play, you know, recreationally when they've got the time. They've all got jobs doing other things, but yeah, to be able to turn around those sorts of levels of our, you know, of ROIs, and also the percentage kind of in the money percentages, which is of, you know, I mean, Adam will tell you that, you know, a good pro player, if they can be 15% in the money, you know, 15-20% in the money, I mean, they're it's really good. I mean, the likes of Dan and Rudders, Richard Rudland Smith, were, you know, with Poker Squad's games over a reasonable number, you know, 150 plus games were over 20% in the money.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Which is really impressive. Yeah.
Listen, guys, the captain of next week's winners, Frank Bailey, the Irish captain, is in the chat box. Frank has just dropped in, you know, from their training camp in Murphy's of Merrion Square. Frank is saying, really looking forward to the WCOAP. Anyone know a Mike Postle? So, you know, he's offered me a few poker tips. So Frank and the team are reading Mike Postle's book. I think it's called iOS 14. And yeah, I think my money's on Ireland next weekend. Just keep your heads down, lads. Keep your heads down.
Keep your hats on.
Keep your hats on.
Well, I'm just assuming. I'm assuming Mike just went and said, "Look, I can sort this for you. I can ensure that those bracelets just fall into your laps. It won't be a problem. It won't be a problem at all. Don't worry about it.
No pun.
It's like Adam's
So
back in it.
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly what I was going to say. Adam's just snuck back in and picked up a couple of mil, and is very close now. And it's an aggressive heads up here, Adam, isn't it? It's both players seem to be going for it.
It's really good. And
yeah,
just goes to show, even if you're sort of 2-1 chip dog heads up, it can just change so quickly. Yeah, I don't even think.
Have you got a style heads up? Have you got a way that you go about it? Obviously, by the time you've got heads up, you've normally played against your opponent, you know, for a reasonable bit, so you kind of must know their game. Does that affect what you do, or have you got a fairly standard heads up? This is the way I like to play it.
Yeah, I tend to have a standard heads up game. May adjust if somebody's kind of making their sizes slightly bigger when they're in position, sort of thing. So I try and adjust in that sense. But yeah, this is where sit and go players will have an edge over players like myself who play tournaments, because realistically, you don't get heads up often in poker.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And in set and goes, you get there. So yeah, it's one of the most under looked at spots where it's crazy because there's so much money to be playing for.
Well, that's the weird thing about it, isn't it? Because the jumps at this point, when you're, you know, three-handed then two-handed, are so significant. But as you say, it's that thing that you can't practice that much.
Yeah, definitely the players that have played like heads up cash and stuff like that are going to be so like levels above in game theory and stuff like that, if you want to put it that way, when you get to heads up. So yeah, but these guys look like they're playing really good, to be honest, from what I'm seeing. There's some limps going on, some raises. Sizes are good from Paul here out of position. Yeah, good.
See what Adam does, and Adam's fired it back again. But again, it's a nice raise size from Adam there. It's one where not completely committed himself, was he? So
exactly that. Yeah, you're looking at Paul's spot there, and he has some sort of suited ace which he tried to raise out of position. What are you going to do when all of a sudden Adams kind of pretty much clicks it back to you? Yeah, it's nice. It's really, really good.
Well, I guess it's one of two things. It's either a super strong hand from Adam, or yeah, he's just going at it and going, well, okay, I'll let this go. If Paul reshoves back over the top, okay, I can let that one go.
Yeah,
similar thing again here now. Well, that's a bit of a bigger bet from Paul, which got called by Adam. So 1.8 million in the middle now. And Paul's fired again. And Adam gets out of the way.
Guys, Tom Banks, who we believed knew everything, has just asked a question in the chat box. iOS 14, that's an iPhone update, no? Yes, it is. It is. It's Mike Postle we're talking about. It was indeed an iPhone update.
Could be anything with him. There's been some crazy scandal poker stories over the last few years, haven't there? Really, things that you just kind of go, really? How is that even a thing? But as usual, the poker world grabs onto it and like goes with it. I think Twitter's has a lot to answer for with a lot of that kind of stuff, isn't it? It's
Twitter fuels so much of the poker toxic talk.
yeah. Do you get involved, or do you just tend to watch from a distance?
It very much depends my day. If I've had a decent day, then I'm good. But sometimes I just want to. It's very rarely though, mate. Very rarely. Yeah. I just can't be bothered. I think it takes so much effort for somebody to say something negative about somebody or something. Like, why go out of your way to do that? It's the same as like YouTube videos. Who are those people that click the dislike on YouTube videos or have the time?
Why would you do it? I agree.
Yeah. If you do that, then shame on you.
Yeah, it's no need, is it? It's funny how people. There's a great clip that's done the rounds in recent times. It's from one of Ricky Gervais's stand-up routines. As just as Adam again does another one of the just a little re-click back for a sort of a third of his stack, but Paul's gone all in. We could be going, oh wow, Adam lets it go. So Adam was trying it again there. Yeah, so Ricky Gervais does the whole kind of stand-up thing of going like Twitter. It's look, at the end of the day, he doesn't know who's following him, and he can't understand people. That he'll post a tweet and they'll take it personally. He said it's like walking into like the town square and there'd be an advert up on the wall saying guitar lessons available. And him going, I don't want guitar lessons. Like that. Oh, there's a number here, and phoning the number and going, I don't want guitar lessons. Like as if it's like if it's not for you, move on. It doesn't really you don't need to respond. It's not a problem. It's
brilliant.
I'll tell you what, Lee, listen, we've got some home secrets coming in here. Kev Munger is in the chat box. Adam can be brutal when he does get involved, lol. So football Twitter is brutal, right? Poker Twitter is positively calm in comparison with football Twitter. That can be brutal. And I suspect Adam, being a gunner, right? Do you watch any of the AFTV stuff? Are you into DT and all of that?
I've kept clear of it up until lockdown, mate, and then
and I've fallen in.
I'm stuck in, mate. Unfortunately,
I love their videos. I mean, what was it? Was it DT who threw his phone a couple of weeks back?
That's it.
It's like the phone just smashed. Oh, here we go.
Jack 10 hole,
and it's Jack 10 holes all went in on the turn. Wow. Two pair for Adam. Paul was up and down straight draw and misses. So that swings the chips in Adam's way now. It's all right. It'll come good for Paul. I've got no doubt. It'll be good. So what do you make of old Mourinho at Spurs now as an Arsenal fan? Is that
they play it to win? I do it how I want.
Oh, hang on. We've got Jose on the line. I didn't realise.
3 leagues.
I honestly, just not because he's Spurs, I think he's so overrated. I really do. I think he's long over the hill. I think he's I was gutted when we got him as manager. I just didn't think it was the right fit for United, and basically what he did for the club. Okay, we won some trophies, don't get me wrong, but it was toxic where the club was by the end of it, and it looked like that's what he was doing it's happening with Spurs early on as well. Early on, definitely. He's one of these managers that you never get positivity around Mourinho's name. Like it's been a long time. Oh, that's a big hand.
Yeah, double up for Paul. He'd rivered the straight with King 10, and Adam decided to make the call with I think it was a jack. Certainly had a jack there. As I'm not sure whether he had two pair.
Jack 8. I think
he did jack 8. Yeah, so just a pair of jacks. Thought it might be good on the river. Yeah, it was jack 8. I don't mind Adam's call there on the river, but gives Paul a massive chip lead now. Yeah, have you watched the Tottenham documentaries?
Oh, here we go, guys. Jack 9, he's got 2 live cards. He's going to need to hit,
and he doesn't. So
hit.
it's going to be a double up for Adam. Yeah, you should watch them because they're it. Bear in mind they started recording them when Poch was manager. and it very much becomes the Jose show.
The surprise.
I think the season was something like 6 months of Poch and 6 months of Jose all in. Well, obviously with lockdown and everything else, and literally by the end of the first episode, Poch has been sacked. That's it.
It goes to show like how withered football managers can be, because Mourinho used to looked quite healthy. He looks withered.
Do you remember him when he, knee sliding down Old Trafford with Porto when he was like, just...
It's like both his knees would give way now. He's withered.
I think he lost a lot of respect to people. Funny, I think it started going wrong for him. Do you remember the incident when he was at Chelsea and it all kicked off with the physio and the medical team came on the pitch for that one game and I think that was the tipping point where not just Chelsea played, but actually everyone else just looked and went, "What? What are you doing?" I mean, like that's just And I don't think he quite ever got the respect back of people after that.
Yeah, I agree, and that kind of went from throughout football. I think people kind of looked at him then and thought, "Oh, this guy thinks that he's actually bigger than clubs." I think that's what it like.
Yeah, completely agree. So, Ace has called it a night. I know he's up for work early in the morning, but looking forward to next week. So, thanks for joining the show, Ace. We will see you next week representing England. Looking forward to it, my friend. Have a good week at work, and. We will see you next week for the start of the Worlds.
Good luck in the Worlds, mate.
Ace going for his 4th bracelet, right? He's won 3. He's won the 8 game. He's won the 8 game.
He won. Ace is the only person I think that's won 2 bracelets in one day in Manchester a few years back. Came back for day 2 of the 8 game and won the 8 game. Decided to then jump into, I think it might have been a turbo event that night.
Turbo.
So decided, well, I'll play that. I mean, I'm in the casino now and won that as well. So literally stood there with 2 bracelets in one day. That is pretty good going. Kev Monger says, and Jose made it worse by advertising Paddy Power. They are cringe. They are proper cringe-worthy adverts, aren't they? They really are.
3 leagues, Lee.
Yeah. They're quite subtle though. I mean, I quite like the Paddy Power adverts, to be honest. The subtlety of, like, the one where it's the one where he's walking through the trophy cabinet and there's the year where he gave his medal away and it's just it's just an empty on the wall. They're very cleverly done. I must admit, I like the is it Peter Crouch does one, doesn't he, as well? With Abby Clancy is quite good as well.
I remember the bet for, was it Ray? Was it Ray?
Yeah.
Ray Winston does. Yeah. They don't take themselves too seriously, which I don't think is a bad thing.
Yeah.
And of course, the one I saw over Christmas, it's the guys that got dropped from Soccer Saturday.
Brilliant.
Did a Paddy Power thing with Letizier and Charlie. It's like, guys, I've got us a job, kind of thing. Like, with Paddy Power, really doing like very clever.
What are we doing here? I'll tell you quietly, Adam had a big final bet there on the River of the Last Hand. We're nearly back at parity again, boys.
It's a good battle. Yeah. Very good battle.
Yeah. Nye Venable says the Rodri Giggs was the best party poker. Paddy Power, sorry. The Rodri Giggs one was very good. Yeah, very good indeed. Oh, Ace has got the week off work. Wow. Good for you. He's having the week off, preparing for next week. Well,
so how do you prepare? Does he do push-ups or what does he do?
Well, he's in this boot camp. I told you, Danny's got them in this boot camp. Yeah, I told you about this. But no, fair play to Ace, because he only started the new job before Christmas, and so hadn't accrued enough holiday to have any time off over Christmas. So basically, had to work all the shifts over Christmas whilst everyone else was off. So I'm glad he's managed to get a week now to have a little bit of a break afterwards.
Stuff.
Yeah. So Paul's all in here. Surely Adam's not going to. I mean, it'd have to be 2 monster hands to be making the call there.
Whose game do you like?
Here.
Sorry, Adam, whose game do you like in poker? Who do you sort of look up to? Who's sort of inspires your play a bit? Anybody stand out?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. To be honest, mate, it's a good question. I don't really have a favorite. I used to like watching the old party poker games of like Devilfish and Tony G and stuff, like the characters. That's what I really like. In regards to game, mate, I don't really have anybody. I guess like the likes of Ivy and stuff were obviously icons and just very, very unique at the game. But yeah, to be honest, mate, I don't really like look up. We just have to get people have to put the work in, but you just have to be blessed. You have to be blessed in this game.
Well, you mentioned Devilfish and Tony G, of course, characters, but those were very much feel players, which I think you've said yourself that's your thing. We've lost a lot of the old characters in the game, haven't we? I mean, you don't get to see as much personality today. There aren't that many in the game today.
No, and to be honest, mate, the times that we do see it, it's kind of there's a kind of attitude towards it now where people think, well, he should be there, like because there's a lot of younger players who do sit there with their headphones in and hoods up, like they kind of expect it to be more like that rather than the Will Kassoufs who are very chatty at the table. So I miss it.
You had quite a few of your more recent caches at Dusk Till Dawn. Big. Just a fantastic club to have. As close as it is to many of us. Do you miss that? I mean, you've really missed that over the last year or so.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's such an incredible venue for poker, and you get to use it as a social meetup as well. You get to see so many people from over the country that you don't get to see too often. So yeah, once they've got some, and it's just so well organized, and even the food menu isn't too bad. You got Five Guys across the road as well, which is absolutely spot on.
No, hey, we've been there. I think Lee and I might have even had a few meetings in there, to be honest. Yeah. And what advice would you give to new players? So players coming into the game, because they still, we still find new players from time to time. What would your advice to those guys be?
One of the biggest things I'd say is just even players who are years into the game, just try and see what you want from the game. Like if you want to succeed and try and win money and better your financial situation, then focus on that. Focus on putting the time in away from the tables here and there. If you want to just use it to pass the time and use it as a hobby, then enjoy it. Like there's no reason to. There's so many bad beats posted and stuff, but it's very annoying. But at the end of the day, like it's a game, and we're very lucky to play the game. And like, yes, it's annoying that there's so much money up top and certain things, but at the end of the day, you're going to be back in that spot again at some point. Like you do play enough games to put yourself back in that position, and it may happen again, but then we just dust ourselves off and get back to it. So yeah, just keep patience as well. Patience is a massive thing. Keep patient with the game. And yeah, just really understand what you want from the game. I think
that's great advice. That is really good advice.
Solid,
actually, I think a lot of people could just listen to that snippet and just go, that's what I need to do. Focus in on what matters.
Yeah. Because I was very much one of these people that I was very self-entitled to the game. Like I thought I'm working really hard. I'm working much harder than Will Kassouf, for example, and I'm not getting them results. But at the end of the day, it's a longevity game. It's not a short-term game. And for those people that are thinking like, all right, I'm going to go to the casino this week and this will be my one chance in the month. Wicked, go have a lovely time, and then hopefully you get a nice little cash at the end of it and spot on. But if you do get a bad beat, it's just one of them things. It's like there's so many different variables to the game, and you have to run very, very good to win a tournament. Like you do.
Yeah, and look, one little tip I would add from my years in the industry, because I understand the importance of what I'm about to say. Stay away from the side games. Casino games and slots and anything that's on a table or when you're in a casino, because
it's all gone in.
Wow, flush.
It's not profitable.
7 deuce for the flush of spades, and Adam had the 10 there. So I mean, it's a tough spot for Adam there. Really, he's not. It's not a huge amount he can do in that spot. Really.
Yeah, I think it's very key what you're saying about the side games there, mate. I think it's very, very key.
It's a league, right? It's a big league. It's read a book, listen to a podcast, just find something else to do when you're playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of the sites have got quite good now. If you if you genuinely poker's all you're interested in, then switch off the other products.
Yeah.
They've got the facility to do that. Switch them off, and not just go, oh, I'll switch it off for a month. Switch it off indefinitely.
Yeah.
So nothing to stop you. Perhaps we should, we shouldn't be saying that, but it's the truth. If genuinely poker's all that's interesting to you, then that's what you should do.
Here we go.
And it's all over. So they both hit a pair of fives for Adam. It was a pair of sixes for Paul. And let me see who's won this then. Let's have a look. Who is top of the tree? It's a guy, Paul Rogers. I don't know whether we've mentioned him. I don't know if anyone's even spoken about him before.
Paul Rogers. Well, what a night.
Yeah, but Paul Rogers. Let me just mention that again. Paul Rogers. He was Paul was 7th in chips with 7 players remaining, and he's only gone and won it. But in all seriousness, what a night actually Paul's had. Finished 5th in the Sunday Roller for $191. Has now won the deep stack for $164. So very well done to him. Adam Phelan in second place for $117, and Andrew Bayliss in third for $85. However, let me get back onto Paul Rogers, because I haven't finished with Paul Rogers yet. Because Paul's been playing the 8 o'clock games all week, so this isn't just on the back of tonight's win by any stretch of the imagination. But he did pick up a chunk of points for that tonight. But Paul has ended up top of the leaderboard for the 8 p.m. games this week. So on top of his cash tonight, he's also going to pick up a $109 world's main event seat. So
nice.
Very well done to him. Guillaume de Oliveira is in second, and Ray Chan from Canada. So Ray's been playing quite a few games with us.
Ray was playing Sunday night, right? He was on the final table of the Roller, I'm sure he was.
So they're both going to pick up $55 tickets as well. And let me just quickly rattle through the top 20 who are going to pick up other tickets as well. Just missing out on the $55. Nelly Gascoigne.
Unlucky Nelly.
You're going to get some tickets in there, but very well done. Mark Shepston, Victor Abbas, Yanni's picking up some more tickets for this leaderboard. So he's won tickets to both leaderboards this week. Very well done to him. Charlie Cairns is picking up tickets. Juliana Mameli is picking up tickets. Shug, you're on for the tickets for this one as well. Steve Slater, Nye Venables mentioned again. Adam Phelan finished tonight in second place. He's going to pick up a ticket. Dan Walsh, Ampton Tito, Jerome Vandenberg, Igor's picking up tickets again on this one, Roy Rocket and Dylan Herbert, and finally Ian Morris. We will sort tickets out for all you guys during the week, ready for the Worlds for next week. Well done for everyone. Same leaderboards again running this week, Mr. Duffy. So we're doing it all over again.
Well,
so
listen,
get
Lee,
in and play.
Lee, you nailed it again, right? We got down to heads up in the last event of the week with shit undecided all over the place. Nailed it again. Well done, my friend. Big thank you, right? As we're reaching the end of our show tonight, and hey, over 2 hours and 45 minutes. This is the longest APAT show for quite a while, Lee, right? We've had a run tonight.
Well, when you get a combination of, you get a load of runners and you get a proper quality guest, and that's what happens.
It's just flown by though. So really, really enjoyed it. So before we come to Adam, just to, everybody who's played the games this week, thank you. Really appreciate your support. Well done to everybody who's won stuff. Well done to everybody who's just taken part and had a good time. Lee and I will be back on Saturday evening next week, not Sunday, Saturday, for the start of the WCOAP. The Team Championship is event number 1, as you guys all know. We'll be back on Saturday night. There'll be more details to follow through the week, I'm sure, but we'll be back on Saturday evening. We'll sort out guests and stuff like that. So, have a great week up to that point, and we look forward to reconnecting then. Last word to Adam. Loved having you on, Adam. You've been absolutely brilliant. Really sort of interesting through the evening. I hope everybody's sort of, learned quite a lot about you, and that's a good thing. That should widen your community. Connect with Adam on Twitch, guys. He's obviously entertaining to follow. It's payday, right? With a 5.
That's correct. Yeah, on Twitter it's payday with a 5. Yeah, IT5PAYDAY.
Perfect. Okay, so link in the chat box, guys. So Adam, thanks again, my friend. Have a great week yourself. And I think that's it, Lee. Right? We're gonna call it a wrap. Okay,
We're good.
Yeah. I just want to say as well, thank you to you guys, because you guys are absolutely wicked, and you've done honestly a massively good job. So really well done.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Much.
Much appreciated. Right, let's do it, guys. I think that's us.
It's always a pleasure to come to this festival, and because the first time was 5 years back in London, and by accident I saw it on Handemop, and I saw that they have very much different games for low stakes. So, and I'm from Holland, so I only used to play No Limit Hold'em and sometimes PLO. So that was my chance for a low roller to play those events for those cheap buy-ins. So that's the first time I came in contact with APAT.